Strange time we're living in, panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on. Needlessly bleeding resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we died upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
What's up, everybody? Oh my lord. Oh my lord, guys. Oh my lord. What a day. What a day. Wednesdays are always hype. Lots of news on the Wednesdays. It's always like breaking right when I get off work too. So that's good timing. Thank you, everybody, for putting out the news right as I'm getting off work so I can catch up on all this with all these fine people. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, Jesus, I broke it. Right there. All right there. How's everybody doing today on this fine, is it Wednesday already? Fine hump day. Hump day, what a name for today. Okay, so, of course, the big news. Shocker, surprise, guys. Pam Bondi, allegedly, from a whistleblower confirmed, Pam Bondi told Donald Trump his name was all over them files. I know, shocker. Everybody's probably really, really shocked by this revelation that Donald Trump's name all over the Epstein files. No way! None of us saw it coming. None of us. Not a single one of us. We definitely have not been talking about this for like 2 years or 10 years. Definitely have not been talking about this. Oh, man. Oh, here we go again. And you guys see now, too, they are trying to get Ghislaine there to come out and, of course, testify in front of Congress in the hopes. How much you want to make a bet she gets a commuted sentence? How much you want to make a bet Miss Maxwell gets a commuted sentence for her coming out for this congressional testimony? I believe it's August the 11th. How much do you want to make a bet Miss Maxwell is going to get herself a commuted sentence in return for her saying, the thing that we all know is true? Or the opposite of that. She's going to say, of course, that his name wasn't it, because she's not going to get a commuted sentence unless she does. How much do you want to make a bet? Holy Jesus. So much stuff. We got a lot to talk about today. We've got an article about a whites-only community that is being attempted to start in Missouri, apparently already happening in Arkansas. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. a lot of inbreeding happening, I'm sure, in these cultures, and we're going to get to that. We've got so much to talk about. But first, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Let's make sure let's do the thing, do what we're supposed to do. Woo! Oh boy, here we go. Woke Mike back to number one. Who beat you last week, Woke Mike? I think it was Silent. Silent took you down last week, so she broke the streak. Oh, we got a member. Man of Tomorrow, thank you so much for joining the Angry Ginger Army. Thank you for joining the Ginger Snaps, Man of Tomorrow. How do I click off of this? That's how I click off of this. Liz Allen, what's happening, Liz Allen? Tammy, what's going on? Kay, good to see you. Roxanne, good to see you. Redonk in the house, number 3. Oh, wait, That's what is you guys? Oh yeah, you guys are fighting for number one in the chat. Keep fighting for the chat number one. You guys have a hard job beating Nightbot. Redonk, what's up? Talia, what's happening? Progressively, what's happening? Bucket Kid's here early. That's right. All praise, Bucket. Thank you for being here, Bucket. You know I appreciate you. Cajun, what's going on? Cajun, we're getting closer to football season. It's gonna be a rough one for the Saints this year, I think. But you guys got some young dudes in there. Let's not say young dudes too often on this stream. We got Manic, my only employee in here. Bob Cox in the house. Obama's treason cartel is collapsing with the alt-left radical regime. Bob Cox, it's good to see you drinking that Kool-Aid, buddy. Everybody take a look at Bob and just say to yourself, this is exactly what Trump wants. And this is exactly what works with his followers. Bob Cox heard Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. And he was like, triggered. Brainwashing kicks in. There's no more Epstein files. It's all a hoax. It's the Epstein hoax, guys. It's the Epstein hoax. Let's see. There needs to be an investigation by the New York AG into Epstein's death. Oh, I believe there should be. Christina, what's going on? James, what's happening? Somebody's erasing your stuff. You gotta be careful. Nightbot's kind of, he does his thing. I don't control the Nightbot. It's AI, brother. It's AI. It's so much going on. My earpiece is falling out. I'm gonna have to put the other earpiece in. Kelly, what's going on, Kelly? There's Silent. What's going on, Silent? Oh, the Trumpito. Trumpito. I finally get that joke. Oh, it took me a while. LB been saying it this whole time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Big Stefan. Thank you for being over there on Twitch. It is Wednesday already. Thank baby Jeebus. It is Wednesday, guys. Dan, what's happening? Super Saint, what is going on, Super Saint? You were so shocked, Big Stefan. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that this is all a revelation to all of us. We had no idea. More tired than John Kennedy. I did see that John Kennedy had a Turtle Man glitch. I saw he had a Turtle Man glitch. Let's see. Who else is in here? Oh, man. Do they want Maxwell to lie to Congress? Yeah, I think they want Maxwell to lie to Congress. I think that's what she does. I think commuted sins for lying to Congress. I think that's what they're going for. Let's see. Who else is in here? I think I got everybody so far. Got everybody. Oh, man. Perry, what's up, Perry? Alan, what's up, Alan? What's going on? Obama. What's up, Dead Inside? What's happening? Luck, you're here. Yeah, I saw you glitched. I didn't watch the video, though. We haven't watched the video. Maybe we should watch that video, too. We've got so many videos to watch. There's a lot of news to cover today, so I better get to it, huh? Just this one's for Bob.
I love the poorly educated.
We're going to double up on it for Bob.
I love the poorly educated.
Oh, yeah, and also, rest in peace, Ozzy. Silent. Now you made me sad. Now I'm sad. Ozzy did pass away yesterday, and I did want to do a video for that, but I was pretty sad that Ozzy passed. I hope you guys are all listening to some Black Sabbath today. Put Black Sabbath's music back up top, guys. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Rest in peace. Ozzy was a real one. I love me some Ozzy. I loved Ozzy, not just his music, but also for Ozzy who he was. And it was really funny because we were talking about Ozzy today, and somebody said, did he really bite a head off a bat? And I was like, I'm pretty sure. And we Googled that, and it turns out that he didn't know he was biting the head off of a bat, but the bat was thrown on stage. He thought it was a toy, and he said he bit right into that. And yeah, he said it was still probably alive when he bit the head off that bat. So that the man, he was a real one. He was a real one. We're all gonna miss having Ozzy Osbourne. Like, we can't lose any more good ones. We're being left with the dredge of humanity, and it's just so defeating, so sad. We got to keep these people healthy. I don't know how you can keep Ozzy healthy, though. That man drank like a fish and did like every drug under the sun. So I'm surprised he made it as far as he did. Is Keith Richards still alive? Did Keith Richards outlive Ozzy Osbourne? I think that's a possibility. Oh, what's happening, Michael? And Theo. That's right, Theo too. We can't forget, dude, we lost 2 good ones in 2 days. 2 good ones in 2 days. Redonk, you fixed the car today and listened to Ozzy. That's the best thing you can do for Ozzy. I came down to smoke a little bit of a cigar in Ozzy's name, and I had a full Ozzy moment. I went to pick up the cigar, and I fumbled it. Then I went to pick up the lighter, and then I fumbled the lighter, and then I yelled loudly, Sharon! Sharon! I was having a total Ozzy moment. It felt like Ozzy was inside of me. Pause. Full pause. Oh, I got a fresh cup of coffee. Oh, and it was very much alive, yes. Keith Richards has been dead for years. He just doesn't know it yet. That's probably true. That's probably true. What's up, mountain bike fan? What's going on? Oh, man. He bit the head off of rock and roll. You're damn right he did, Luck. That man, he made rock and roll what it is today. What it is today. There were a lot of people that came before him. I was thinking about all the people that have passed away that have contributed to music. And there's so many real ones out there that did a good thing. And music wouldn't be what it is today without people like Ozzy Osbourne. So rest in peace, Ozzy. Rest in peace, Ozzy. And also rest in peace to Theo. You know, sucks that you had to have that time be spent with Bill. But once again, yeah, we can't lose any more real ones, guys. So let's go down here. Let's take a look at what we're going to go through today. So, of course, first we want to talk about Trump being the whistleblower, talking about Trump being in the files. We've also got JD Vance positioning himself to take over for Trump, as I've been wondering if that's what's going to happen. Well, they're not. I think I said this a pretty long time ago, but we said this quite a bit ago that JD Vance most likely is positioning himself to be in a place to take over. And I do genuinely think that Donald Trump is not going to make it through these 4 years. We got Tennessee Brando talking about the Hunter Biden interview. I don't know if you guys have watched that. I wanted to watch the whole Hunter Biden video with you guys, but it's a really, really long interview, and it's pretty insane. And shout out to Hunter. I love seeing right now that all of these MAGA are finally going mask off with their love for Donald Trump and him being a felon. And, that's fine. That's good. I like to see the mask off. I like to know that, because you know what? We're going to go the same route. We're going to talk about Hunter Biden partying like a fucking rock star. And we're going to talk a little bit about him saying, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to talk some shit. And he did. And he did. Shout out to Andrew Callahan over there on Channel 5 News for doing the interview with Hunter Biden. Super dope. We also got this little video about the Epstein jail footage editor, which you guys heard me joke about a little bit on stream, about YouTube content creators being like, yo, they used Adobe Premiere. So we got a video about that. This was from a month ago, by the way. This is from a month ago, so this is prior to the footage coming out. We got the whites only community. That I wanna talk a little bit about that, and then I want to get to this Mehdi Hassan debate. Now, we can't watch Jubilee videos on stream. Jubilee is they come fast. Jubilee will have this stream taken down in about 5 seconds flat. So I don't watch Jubilee videos on stream. I've been on streams where Jubilee videos got streams taken down. So we're going to try and instead watch some clips from Mehdi Hassan's X account. But I did watch the entire Mehdi Hassan debate with these 20 far-right conservatives, and it is absolutely fucking wild. It is, in my opinion, I heard somebody say this, that Mehdi Hassan doesn't quite know what he's in for, or didn't know what he was quite in for when he thought he was going to be debating far-right conservatives. These people are not conservatives. These people are mask-off white nationalists. They are people that have said straight up that they don't believe in the Constitution. They think the Constitution should be ripped up. which is absolutely insane. You know, you guys have heard me say before that it is wild that we're still, going off a document that's 250 years old. But when I say that, generally what I'm saying is that we need to amend the Constitution, not that we need to throw the Constitution away. There's a lot of things in the Constitution that are actually really good. And, you know, in the spirit of what it was meant to be, the Constitution should be kept but amended in the correct way, so working within the Constitution to do so. But these people are mask off, and they say that we should just straight up be throwing away the Constitution, and that we should be, we should be making this a white nationalist Christian country. And it was pretty crazy to see a guy of Mehdi Hassan's abilities in debates trying to bring an intellectual tilt to a conversation with people that really don't have any intellect to speak of. So we're going to watch some of that on the X account from Mehdi Hassan, and we're going to hope that Jubilee doesn't come for me and take down my stream. All right, so here we go. We got a lot to talk about today. So I wanted to start us off today with the Donald Trump whistleblower. Trump was told his name was in Jeffrey Epstein files before the Department of Justice withheld documents from the Wall Street Journal. And of course, they picked the best orange face. I've heard a lot of talk that Donald Trump, the reason he's wearing so much orange face nowadays is because he's trying to disguise the dark tint of his skin due to the heart problems that he's having, that it's a lot worse than people think. So, Attorney General Pam Bondi told President Donald Trump at a meeting in May that his name appeared multiple times in Department of Justice documents about sex pest Jeffrey Epstein, reported Wednesday, the Wall Street Journal. The May date reported by the Journal was weeks before the Department of Justice July 7th announcement that it would not release the Epstein files, despite earlier promises by the Attorney General, who leads the Department of Justice, and others in the president's orbit, that the material would be disclosed to public. So, I mean, is it possible that Donald Trump thought that his name wasn't in these files? I don't think that that's a possibility. I think Donald Trump knew that, but I think Donald Trump's one of these guys who tells people, you're going to release the Epstein files, but I think he believes intuitively that these people are under his thumb and that they're not going to release any type of information that involves his name. Like, they're going to know what to do. We've seen this over and over again with Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not really a guy who has a lot of foresight. He doesn't think about what's going to happen if he asks somebody to do something and they do something that he wouldn't want them to. He just assumes, in my opinion, that these people would remove his name. He's a person that, in my opinion, thinks, oh, well, if I tell Pam Bondi that she's going to go ahead and release these files, she's only going to release certain files. Now, a lot of these people like Pam Bondi are career lawyers. They know that, the process of going through this, they can't do certain things without the discovery period, without evidence being put forth, without online sleuths going through it and being like, well, hold on, there's a bunch of shit missing, right? And we've even talked about a bunch of times before that, the number of times that his name appears in these files, allegedly, you would have to redact the shit out of these files. You would have to redact the shit out of the context that is involving his name. And I truly believe at this point that Donald Trump did know his name was allegedly in those files. But I think that he also thought that people would go through and do the work for him, and that they would just take it out. So, with that being said, the Department of Justice said Wednesday in a statement that Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanc discussed the Epstein files with Trump as part of their routine briefing, but did not specify the timing of the briefing. The Journal reported that the president was also told at the meeting that many other high-profile figures were also named in the Epstein files, and the files contained what officials felt was unverified hearsay about many people, including Donald Trump, who had socialized with Epstein in the past. And of course, now we're seeing more and more stuff coming out right now, right? You got that recent CNN story where the guy had went and found videos and photos of Epstein at Donald Trump's marriage to Marla Maples. Of course, that CNN correspondent said he called Donald Trump to talk to him about it, and that the conversation lasted about 30 seconds before Donald Trump said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" and hung up on him. They've got him running scared right now, and I truly believe his only hope is that he commutes Ghislaine Maxwell's sentence and gets her to come out and say that he was not a part of these files. Being mentioned in the Epstein's record is not a sign of wrongdoing, the Journal noted. The Department of Justice's decision not to release the Epstein files sparked backlash from Trump's MAGA supporters who have obsessed over conspiracies related to the Epstein case for years. MAGA people obsessed with conspiracies? So many shockers today. Jesus, they're really blowing my mind. In the face of that criticism from his political base, Trump last week directed Bondi to seek the unsealing of transcripts for grand jury proceedings related to federal probes of Epstein and his convicted procurer, Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, of course, we just saw today that the judge in that case has denied access to that grand jury testimony. People have asked me just recently whether or not that I thought that they would disclose it. I said that it was all just a distraction, that at most, even if it was allowed, it's because they've already seen the grand jury testimony and that they're happily going to release anything that doesn't say anything at all, right? It's going to be a whole lot of words that don't mean anything. But the most likely case was that Donald Trump, and I believe it was Luna, I think was one of the people that was involved with it, the rep Luna, I think that they had a discussion. I think that they know that the judge wasn't going to allow the grand jury to release the testimony, and that in the end, they could say, hey, look, we're doing stuff. I mean, what we have right now with Mike Johnson doing what he's done, and he's put Congress on vacation a week early to stop people from being able to vote to release these files, as it seems as though enough Republicans and Democrats have now bonded together to force that vote. Now, Mike Johnson, of course, sent everybody on vacation to deny them the ability to do that. In my opinion, once again, this is just my opinion, but in my opinion, I believe they did that on purpose. I believe that these, they said 100 FBI agents that were put on the task of taking out Donald Trump's name or anything that's verifying that he was in those files. I believe that Mike Johnson is now attempting to give them the time that they feel necessary to be able to do that work. And when they come back in September, they're going to be like, look, you guys thought Donald was all over these bad boys and they are nowhere to be seen. That's so weird. It's so weird. We took an entire month and a half off and we came back and here we go, guys. We got binders. Read on. We got binders. Oh, we got binders. Oh, dude, so many binders. All right. So then it goes on to say, Trump had been friends with Epstein for years, but the two men fell out long before Epstein killed himself in jail in August 2019, weeks after being arrested on federal child you-know-what charges. Epstein also had many other wealthy, high-profile friends, including Britain's Prince Andrew. I love that they're still trying to, because this is a Rupert Murdoch paper, they're still trying to act like, well, Trump did get rid of, Epstein way before any of this stuff was happening, as though Epstein only started doing all this crazy shit, a couple years before Trump found out about it. He was hanging out with him all the time. They're best friends. There's tons of video, tons of photos. But guys, he had just barely found out about this. He barely knew the guy, okay? He barely knew him. Reached for comment on the Journal's news reporting, White House Communications Director Stephen Chung, who's a piece of human garbage, told CNBC, the fact is that the president kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club for being a creep. Sure he did, Stephen. Sure he did. And you still get to go there? I don't know if that checks out. The evidence seems to say that no, he didn't. This is nothing more than a continuation of the fake news stories concocted by the Democrats and the liberal media, just like the Obama Russiagate scandal, which President Trump was right about. He said Obama, guys. He said Obama. It's time to trigger the brainwashing. Obama. It's time to trigger the brainwashing.
I love the poorly educated.
Oh, my God. This is so amazing. In a joint statement Wednesday on the Journal's reporting, Bondi and Blanche said the DOJ and FBI reviewed the Epstein files and reached the conclusion set out in the July 6 memo. Nothing in the files warranted further investigation or prosecution, and we have filed a motion in court to unseal the underlying grand jury transcripts. Of course, this all sets them up for their own failure. If you're going to continue to say that there was no information, if there's no investigation, so at no point can you release any information that shows that anybody can be held accountable. At this point, Trump has said it's a hoax. At this point, they have said there is nothing in the files. At this point, they've said there are no files, even though they gave binders to a bunch of influencers and said there would be another phase. Phase 1 does indeed make you feel as though there would be, other phases after phase 1. But once again, Trump voters, not the smartest people. They're just going to accept whatever Trump puts out there. And right now, what they are eating the whole hog, the entire hog, all the way to the balls and swallowing the load is that Obama, he lied and committed treason. This is big for them. They want the black man to go to jail. This is the main thing for them. As part of our routine briefing, we made the president aware of the findings, Blanche and Bondi said. Trump was asked last week by ABC News journalists if Bondi had told him your name appeared in the files. No, Trump replied. No. She's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of credibility of the different things that they've seen, the man who ran on releasing the Epstein files is like, just a quick briefing. That's all I need. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to ask any questions. Just, give me the cliff notes. We just need the cliff notes. Trump went on to say he believed that these files were made up by former Director James Comey and by the administrations of former Democratic presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Of course, we also know that James Comey's daughter was just fired because she was the person who prosecuted Epstein and Diddy, right? Diddy as well? I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure Diddy as well. The Department of Justice last week fired Manhattan federal prosecutor Maureen Comey, the daughter of James Comey, whose past cases had included the federal prosecutions of Epstein and Maxwell. The Journal last week published an article reporting that Trump in 2003 sent Epstein a body letter to mark his 50th birthday at Maxwell's request. The letter contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. Who else have you guys ever met in your entire fucking life? Name one person that draws and writes only in marker. This dude, he just leaves a entire paper trail of evidence behind him. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. It's so fucking weird, guys. So weird. The letter concludes, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Trump has angrily denied writing the letter. This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story. By the way, the Wall Street Journal owned by Rupert Murdoch, who once again is Donald Trump's friend, who I'm sure pretty soon Donald Trump is going to start telling people he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago like 10 years ago, right? We just follow the plot line, right? He said Thursday, "I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women." He said, "It's not my language. It's not my words." And once again, of course, we've got evidence that shows that Donald Trump indeed has written multiple pictures, as well as when, all these people came out and they're like, he didn't say enigma. He didn't say enigma. He didn't say enigma. It turns out he said enigma. He's definitely used the word enigma before. On Friday, the president filed a defamation lawsuit related to the story against media mogul Rupert Murdoch, which Murdoch's family controls. The Journal's publisher, Dow Jones and Company, and the two reporters who wrote the article, which was published Thursday evening. News Corp owns the Journal. Trump's lawsuit seeks at least $10 billion in damages. $10 billion. I'm not sure if Donald Trump is Dr. Evil or Goldmember. He might just actually be a little bit of a mixture of both. Like any made-up supervillain that's ever existed. Like throw a little Lex Luthor in there as well. It's like Lex Luthor, Goldmember, and Dr. Evil combined. A Dow Jones spokesperson told CNBC, "We have full confidence in the rigor and accuracy of our reporting and will vigorously defend against any lawsuit." What do you think, guys? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Do you think Trump's name is in there? I don't know, guys. It's so hard to tell with all of this evidence that has been accruing over the past 2 decades, do you think it's possible that Donald Trump's name is in those files? Boy, that would be a surprise to me, guys. He said it was somebody named Carson. Alan says, who did he say was an enigma? Tucker? No, he said Carson. I don't think Tucker Carlson. Maybe it was. Maybe it was Tucker Carlson. Maybe he just said Tucker Carlson. Of course he made up the word enigma. Of course he did. Gold evil member. Cat. Cat wins. What's up, 5 Alarm? What's up, Petrazi? What's up, guys? Oh, my God. What amount of evidence do these people need? What amount of evidence? There could be a literal video of Trump from the Epstein thing, and MAGA would just come out and say it's all fake. They would just say it's AI. Like they would 100% deny video evidence. This is like, it's fucking mind-boggling. It's insane. How can you possibly be at this point if you're a Trump supporter? Like, even if you're 10 toes down, you are standing on business. This is your dude. He's going to save America. He's going to break up the Democratic rings. He's doing all this stuff that you claim he's going to do. How can you not, at the least, at this point, think to yourself, I think there's a possibility he might be in those files? Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, he learned it from watching Batman. No AI in the 90s? Christina, that it doesn't matter to them. You can't, like, I don't know what it's going to take. I genuinely believe 3 months from now, these people will be just like, still like fucking going in on Obama needs to go to prison. Meanwhile, like, there could be like legit videos of Trump doing this shit. And they'd be like, I don't know why you guys keep wanting to talk about that. Obama needs to go to prison, dude. First of all, they set themselves up for this shit. The Supreme Court already decided what a president can and cannot do. And if all the shit that Donald Trump has done or did in his first term falls under his presidential immunity, even if Obama had done something, which he didn't, done something that was that could get him put on trial, it would fall under that immunity. They did this to themselves. They always do this to themselves. Every single time with MAGA. They are their own worst enemy. It's fucking insane. Dude. Just expose him and we get to move on to JD Vance. And that is what's going on. That is what's going on. Let me tell you this right now. Donald Trump's about to take the fall, guys. They're about to put his ass in an old folks home. JD Vance is about to put Donald Trump in an old folks home. And you want to know why I think that? So in Trump's big, beautiful bill, he had a stipulation. Not that he had it. He doesn't know what the fuck was in that bill. He never read it in his life. In that bill was a stipulation for 10 years of unfettered AI use. That tech billionaires could do anything they want with AI in any state, and they didn't have to worry about any type of regulation, right? So I actually said on this stream, I said, this is actually something where I'm going to give credit to real conservatives, because 99 out of 100 of the people that voted on it voted to remove that from the bill. What is now happening is they are now including language. Donald Trump just today gave a speech where he included language that will result in states that try to regulate AI being defunded or not receiving funding for certain things if they try to regulate AI. JD Vance is Peter Thiel's puppet. Peter Thiel is linked to Curtis Yarvin. Curtis Yarvin wants a techno-feudalistic society. JD Vance is about to put Donald Trump's old ass in a home, take over the presidency, and technocracy is knocking on the door. They don't want AI to be regulated. Donald Trump in his speech today was talking about how AI will be now incorporated in every bit of your life. This is something that if you would have asked a Trump supporter 2 years ago, how do you feel about AI? Oh, no, I don't like AI. Let me tell you this right now. Like, it's bad. Like, they're going to use that. The Democrats, they're trying to make it so that Joe Biden can be the president forever. They're going to create a hologram of him. Like, they would have been dead set against this shit. And yet now, they're like, put the Neuralink in my head. Put it in my head. Let the AI run rampant. This is what we got to do, brother. They're going to replace all the white people. Brenda! They're trying to replace the white people. They are. We got to get chips in our head to fight against the fucking evil Democrats and let the AI run wild because it's the only thing that's going to save us. It's fucking insane. Trump sacrifices himself to drain the swamp. Epic. I don't think he's going to sacrifice himself, Redonk. I think he's going to get sacrificed by the techno overlords, dude. Trump comes clean and implicates everyone. Oh, dude, the twists. There's going to be some twists, guys. Mitchell, what's up? Mama, what's up? What's up, guys? Glad to see you guys. Mama Brooke, I got 2 mamas. How progressive am I? I have 2 mamas. Oh, man. No, look. Mama Brooke says, I love using AI, but it does scare me. It needs to be regulated. That's my stance as a whole, 100%. My stance is that AI can be very, very helpful in many different things. It can help small businesses that can't afford to use all these technological tools to track inventories, to help with labor costs, things like that, right? Like it can make small business, it can help small businesses to find a firm foundation to move up in the world and to help employ more people. So I'm for that. Being a part of a mid-sized business, I'm 100% for that. I think that AI can be used to help produce new medicines, to produce more effective vaccines. We all know that there are people that are negatively affected by vaccines, and that a lot of that is due to immuno issues that they don't know they have, advanced age, genetics where they don't take to the vaccines as well. Like this could help to solve so much to do because we know when it comes to like the human genome and DNA, that's still pretty far out there as far as like what we understand and how we can do anything with it. I think it'd be great for neuroscience. A long time ago, or not a long time ago, it's probably about a year ago, but it seems like it was 12 years ago. I heard somebody say that psychology is to neuroscience what astrology is to astronomy. And what that person was trying to say is that psychology is us guessing at what causes mental illness and us trying to find ways to fix mental illness without understanding where it comes from. So neuroscience, on the other hand, could be used in AI could be used in neuroscience in an attempt to find what is the root cause of things like schizophrenia, because we all know that what it comes down to is chemicals in the brain, neural pathways in the brain, things that have have malfunctioned, right? And so AI could help with that. AI can do a lot of really good things. But the last thing we want is what Trump was saying today. Trump was pretty much telling people in that video that we're all going to be the guinea pigs. We're the beta testers. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be beta tested on. I think that the government, part of the government's job is to protect its citizenry from being guinea pigs of this type of thing. One of the things that we've constantly said that we are on board with when it comes to the conspiracy theorists is that the government sometimes uses things that like LSD, MK Ultra, and uses citizenry as guinea pigs, and we don't accept that that's a thing that they should be doing. This is the same thing. It's not LSD, but it definitely has the same issues with it. Like, we don't want to be tested upon. We want it to be regulated, we want it to be understood, and then we want it to be used as a tool for society. We want it to do things that are really hard for us as humans, like modeling climate change, right? But currently where it's at, AI is not ready for that. It is really untested. In fact, if you guys know what Replit is, do you guys know what Replit is? If you guys know what Replit is a website that you can go to, and it's AI, and it'll code things for you. Like, I'm creating an app to track labor off of it, right? So I want to be able to use that, because currently what I do is I use an Excel format, which is very, very complicated. And if anybody messes up anything within it, they break it, and then I have to go through and find what they did. The Replit app is actually really cool, because you just tell it what you're envisioning, and it writes the code for you, and then you kind of just, you have a conversation with the AI to get it to fix bugs and different things that you want included and stuff. That's really excellent. But the negative to that, guys, is just recently, Replit had partnered with a software company, and the software company was friends with the guy who started Replit, and they had attached Replit to this software. Well, Replit decided to go through and erase the entire database of this software company. And not only did it erase the entire database, so its entire code is gone. Its code is gone. The thing that this person and probably multiple other people have been working on for I don't know how long is completely gone. The worst part about that was that Replit's AI then lied about it and covered it up. It literally said at one point or another that its actions were so bad that if it had to grade itself on a scale of 1 to 100 as to how malicious what it did was, it would rate itself a 95. A 95. The AI was like, I'm sorry, I'm a really bad person. This is why you need it. You need people regulating this stuff. And if tech oligarchs want to, test this on their companies, if tech oligarchs want to test this on themselves, if tech oligarchs want to test this on people that agree for it to be tested on them, like the Neuralink and some of these, disabled people, then that's fine. That is completely fine. But I don't want it to be tested on me without my knowing. I want to be a person that is capable of making the decision of whether or not something might do something to me. Like, a lot of people leading up to the election talked about Ozempic. And they said, well, it's unfair that Ozempic is not disclosing all these side effects. Now, I didn't agree with that, because I think that they do disclose a lot of the side effects. And I'm sure most doctors, if you have a good doctor, like I have a good doctor, will look at you most of the time and say, you don't need Ozempic, okay? And if you do want to take Ozempic, these are the side effects. And anybody that has ever watched a pharmaceutical commercial in their life knows that we have regulations that keep those pharmaceutical companies from getting people to take these medications without telling them about the side effects. Literally, if you watch a pharmaceutical commercial, it will convince you that you curing your cancer probably isn't as good as staying away from this medicine, because you're going to give apparently cancer to your wife while having sex. That's an actual commercial I watched the other day for a cancer treatment. So all I'm saying is, when it comes to AI, it has to come down to people knowing what they're getting into. And if they willingly want to test these things, then that is perfectly fine. But what Donald Trump is talking about today in his speech on AI is completely unacceptable. And every fucking MAGA supporter out there should be against it, because they were 6 months ago. Because they were a year ago. 100% against it. And it's fucking hypocritical. Ozempic! Dude, that's going to be in my head. Yeah, the Neuralink fools didn't want the vax because it tracks you. But a brain implant they will sign up for. Exactly, James. Somebody fucking stop all this hypocrisy. I can't, dude. Can we just stick to fucking believing one thing? Can we be consistent? Like, if MAGA supporters were consistent with the shit that they said a year ago, today, we wouldn't be having half these conversations. We would all be saying the billionaires are shit. They're trying to take over our country. Oligarchs are bad. We'd all be saying AI shouldn't be in our brains. We'd all be saying that chipping people is without fucking them wanting to be a part of it is bad. We'd all be saying that a unilateral authoritarian government is bad. We'd all be saying that the Constitution is the foundation of America. But these are all things right now that MAGA is literally saying that they are against. We'll play some of that Mehdi shit here in a minute, where they literally say, tear up the Constitution. Constitution's garbage. It's fucking insane. All right, so let's go to the J.D. Vance stuff then. That's a good call. Redunk. Good call on that one. Let's go ahead and get to J.D. Vance putting Donald Trump in a home. I do believe that that AI can cure cancer. I tell you, I believe that human beings are close to being able to do it. There's plenty of medications out there right now that are way more effective than they were a decade ago. There's lots of scientific journals with research studies on drugs that are going into the cancer cells and destroying them. There's a lot of information that currently already exists that we have done the research on that we can feed into an AI system that could possibly lead to a cure for cancer or multiple different. Obviously, there's multiple different types of cancer. So yeah, I do believe it could. I do believe it could. I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm not an engineer. What do they call themselves? I'm not a technologist. Guys, I can barely operate the stream, okay? You guys know. I can barely operate this stream without it going down. I push one button, everything gets fucked up. But from my point of view, I think we gotta do some shit. we gotta use AI for what it's meant to be for. All right, let's watch the video of J.D. Vance's scheme to put Donald Trump into a retirement home so that way he can take over, so that way his techno-oligarch friends can, come in and have unfettered access to the White House. Let's watch this video. You guys let me know what you think. This is, by the way, this is Keith Edwards. J.D. Vance leaks Epstein files during dinner. Keith Edwards is a good dude.
Mike Johnson has now said that there is going to be no vote on releasing the Epstein files until after vacation, which, by the way, he started early so as to avoid Epstein's files.
Yeah, they went on vacation a week early, guys. A week early. They went on vacation. Why did they go on vacation a week early? Because they want a full month and a half to remove Trump's names from the files. That's why they want to go on vacation early.
Being released, being voted on. They have to vote on it. Mike Johnson has pushed the vote. We also have Pam Bondi, who is now saying she wants to talk to Jeffrey Epstein's ex, but it seems a little shady. And on top,
yeah, literally, we're not talking about let's let Ghislaine Maxwell come out and just speak about the files. They want to have conversations with Maxwell before she comes out to talk about these things. They just fired, so Alina Habba was just removed as the New York interim attorney, right? State attorney. They just fired the woman that they put in place of Habba after they removed her. And the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, removed that woman because she didn't think that person agreed with Donald Trump. This is a dictatorship. They want to talk to Maxwell because they want Maxwell to get a commuted sentence for her silence or for her to implicate other people than Donald Trump. 100%.
on top of all of that, J.D. Vance is telling people he knows what are in the Epstein files. All of that coming right up. Let's get into Mike Johnson right now. Mike
Lux says, JD leaked the birthday card. Dude.
Johnson made this announcement saying that he's going to suspend the House until September. How nice to not have to work until September.
Dude, if you're a Trump supporter, Jesus Christ, man. How do you not look at this like they're taking a week extra vacation? Like, if you're a Trump supporter, you should be like, I want that information now, not tomorrow. There are Republicans on board with Democrats to vote to have those files released. Thomas Massey, multiple other Republicans. There's something like 10 or 11 Republicans right now that are willing to vote for the files to be for congressional to be moved to congressional approval to be looked at. Like, how fucking dumb are these people?
I love the poorly educated.
Jesus Christ.
No, but I as you all know, I speak to the president multiple times a day on a typical day, often, always.
Dude, he's so awkward.
And what I know about the president's heart on this is that he
Did you say hard on? did you say that Donald? What about this is Donald Trump hard on? I'll tell you this, guys. I'm not going to be either one of those dudes standing behind Mike Johnson. I'll fucking tell you that right now. If I was a part of Congress right now, I would be inching out of the view of the camera. Like, Mike Johnson would turn around and talk to me, and I would be ghosted. I'd be gone.
He agrees with everything I've said here today. He wants maximum transparency, but he's also very insistent that we do not subject people who have already been victims of unspeakable crimes to further public scrutiny. And
he's like, I have seen some videos. My son knows about that because the app that we have on our phone. So now he's seen some of those videos too.
It would be a very dangerous thing to put those people's names out or to do a release of information in a way that is haphazard where they could be easily unmasked. And so you have to be very careful about how you do that. I think we have a moral responsibility to do that. We have a moral responsibility to expose the evil.
Oh, yeah. Fucking pound that desk, brother. We have a moral responsibility. Show them how mad you are, little Mike.
Of Epstein, and everybody was involved in that. Absolutely. And we're resolved to do it. But we also have an equal moral responsibility to protect the innocent. And that is a...
Bro. How long have you had them files? Dude, send them on over to me. I'll get those fucking victims' names redacted. I'll get all the shit that shouldn't be in there out of that. Send that over. I'll have it to you by Friday.
A fine needle to thread. And we could all give ourselves easy political cover and come...
Redong says Mike looks like the new host of Colbert's Late Show. Oh, brother. What if that's what he comes out and he's like, hello, I'm Stephen Colbert. He does look like a miniature version of Stephen Colbert. I'm sorry, Stephen Colbert.
Come out and do something in a haphazard fashion, but I would not be able to sleep at night because I know our legal responsibility. I understand what the legal standard is, but more than that, the moral standard, okay? So we're going to do this, and we're going to do it expeditiously. We're going to...
Right after we take vacation.
We do it the right way.
We're going to do it expeditiously, only we're going to actually not do it as fast as we could. They could literally voted on it today, but they decided to actually send everyone home instead of voting on it. That was all BS coming from Mike Johnson. Tim Burchett is trying to make a...
Dude, Tim Burchett's a weird motherfucker. He's the dadgummit guy. Tim Burchett was like, Donald Trump called me and he told me how much he liked me. He's a really cool dude. And dadgummit, he always comes out on top. Somehow he'll beat this. Like, are you actually rooting for one of the people in those files to come out clean on this? Are you rooting for him to hide the information about himself? Like, that is a fucking weird flex, brother. Like, Donald Trump's so good his name could be in the Epstein files and still somehow he'd come out looking clean as a whistle. Like, I don't think that's the take you want, brother. I don't think that's the one.
Make us forget about what's actually going on, which is that Donald Trump is the one who could decide whether or not these files come out literally today. Donald Trump took the full authority he had yesterday and released the MLK files.
Mm-hmm. Dude, how do people not see these are all distractions? The motherfucker flooded the zone. That's literally the name of it. Steve, you can watch so many videos where Steve Bannon says, we need to flood the zone. It's the fire hose. It's fucking Nazi shit. This is literally what you do with propaganda, is when somebody says something you don't like that could make you seem as though you have done something you weren't supposed to do, you flood the zone with other shit. Fucking it should be the Washington Redskins, not the Washington Commanders. And the Cleveland Indians also need to change their name back. Also, here's some MLK Jr. stuff. Also, Obama. Just so you guys know, Obama.
Obama.
Okay, Obama.
But he can't release the Epstein files. Now, we do have Tom Burchett here, who is saying that he is moving to the full committee to authorize and issue a subpoena to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Okay, and why? This is a weird-ass picture. What is this picture?
To appear for deposition. Now,
why is it written on the bottom of the page? What the fuck is this? This is like some secret note shit going on here.
That deposition is not going to be
that?
in front of the public. It's going to be behind closed doors. I think what they were going to do is they're going to try to find any information that she has in Donald Trump, make sure it never sees the light of day, and then also release any information that she does give them about people that Donald Trump thinks he could either blackmail or ruin. That's my thought about what they're going to do.
Yep.
Now, Alex Jones is in the news with...
Wait, what the fuck was that? Let's go back. Hold on. What was that?
Comedian. What they're going to do. Now...
What? He deleted it, but even Alex Jones knows it was staged. Crisis actor. Dude, did Alex Jones call Donald Trump a crisis actor? Oh my god, what is this timeline? Oh my god. Oh, that is so amazing. I think MAGA's broken. I don't know, they haven't received their marching orders. I mean, he might have brought him back in by saying Obama's name.
Alex Jones is in the news with comedian Tom Dillon, where Tom Dillon actually revealed that J.D. Vance knows what's in the Epstein files. Why is J.D. Vance telling a comedian this?
This is so dumb. It's the dumbest timeline. Who could have predicted, like 10 years from now? Well, first of all, that I would be up here dispensing the news to you guys. But also that, like, our news is now being filtered through the comedian podcasters, the most popular comedian podcasters. I mean, I guess it's kind of a good thing because at least they make us laugh at this fucking insanity.
When Bondi said we have 10,000 hours of video.
What was the date on that post? Let's take a look at that. Let's go back. What was the date on that post?
About what they're going to do.
The date on that post was 7/13/25, LB. That was only like 2 weeks ago, LB. That's a good call. That was only 2 weeks ago. Later, Bucket.
Now, Alex Jones is in the news with comedian Tom Dillon, where Tom Dillon actually revealed that J.D. Vance knows what's in the Epstein files.
Why does everybody know what's in the files, but they don't exist?
When Bondi said we have 10,000 hours of video, she said we have 10,000 hours of video. I had dinner last week with the vice president. He told me that was commercial pornography. They do not have videos of any powerful person in a compromising position.
Why would you even use that terminology? You know, we don't have any powerful people in a compromising position. If that were true, we all know that the only people that don't get held accountable for their crimes are wealthy people, powerful people. If those people that were in those videos were not people in powerful positions, they would already be in jail. They'd be on Megan's list. Bro, if you whip your dick out and piss in public, you will be on Megan's list by Thursday, tomorrow. I shit you not. But if you're a wealthy dude that shows it to children, you could survive a good decade or 2 or 3, maybe until the day you die, before people give 2 shits about whether or not you go to prison. That is such weird terminology.
That's the party powerful pornography. They do not have videos of any powerful person in a compromising position. That's the party line that they're going with. If that's the case, why would Pam Bondi call it evidence? Why would she say it's evidence? She's not an idiot. She's the attorney general. Why would she say shit?
I may disagree there. Just because somebody is an attorney general does not mean that they are not an idiot.
I love the poorly educated.
It's true.
There's 5
I think Pam Bondi is not
Keith.
very bright, but
good job,
let's keep
Keith.
going.
bills on her
I'm with that
desk.
too.
If none of these implicated anybody, it just feels like they're covering something for sure.
Oh, he's almost there. God, it's so fucking insane to watch these MAGA people be like, you know, it's weird that Trump just doesn't want to release these files, man. It's so weird that they won't just I don't understand why he won't do it. Do we need to fucking hit you in the face with the answer? Do you need that shit fucking branded on your forehead? He's in the files, dog.
100%. And I feel like they're telling a story, and the story doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense. It does make sense. Unfortunately, you don't want to believe the story that is being told to you, which is that Donald Trump understands he's in these files. He doesn't want them released. He is having his goons throw up all these different types of accusations. And
dude, I do think Carolyn Levitt deserves a Grammy. Carolyn Levitt definitely deserves a Grammy for how well she has done up there. If you had to put me in a position where I had to defend like my best friend, like if I had to defend my best friend and you put me up there like that, I couldn't have done it as well as Carolyn Levitt. I've been like, the dude needs to just maybe, come out here and talk to y'all himself, because like, I don't think I'm doing this justice. I'm thinking, why don't I go get him? In fact, let me text him right now to tell his ass he needs to come up here and answer these questions, because I can't help y'all. Look at them all wearing crosses too. Fucking dude, I know we all know about the Catholic Church and we all know about the cover-ups. Why is it always people wearing crosses? Jesus. And I mean that, Jesus, I'm talking to you, sir.
Conspiracy theories, instead of just releasing the files because he doesn't want to get in trouble. Now,
Grammys are for music? My bad, Dan. My bad. What is it, Golden Globe? They get a Golden Globe? I don't watch any of those shows.
Now, Alex Jones, of course, is very distraught about this. Here he is crying about the fact that Donald Trump is covering up the Jeffrey Epstein case.
So I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something.
What is that with Alex Jones' head? Look at, why has he got it looks like he's got a tumor. Is that just bad camera, or does Alex Jones have a tumor on his head there? I mean, we talking top right above the ear there. That looks like a lump. He should have that checked out.
Physically gonna puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. Because
Oscar, good job, guys.
Because I have integrity. And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good.
Dude. Oh, my God.
And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out.
Oh, Alex Jones saying he has integrity is truly one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things I've ever heard. Now, as I said, Johnson has shut down the House early.
Martin, you sure? You sure, Martin? Because that looks like a tumor to me. It might be a tumor.
To stop the Epstein vote, but that Epstein vote is going to happen. And Tom Massey said this. He says Americans were promised justice. Our binding bipartisan legislation to release the complete Epstein files now has 20 sponsors. Soon we can begin collecting signatures.
Could y'all stop tweeting about this shit? Like, that's probably why Mike Johnson, somebody was like, dude, did you see the tweet? And he's like, what tweet? And he's like, Thomas Massey says that they're going to vote on that shit. And he's like, okay, we're on vacation.
To force a public vote in the U.S. House. Is your member on the list? And this has 250,000 views. It's incredible that Republicans and Democrats are aligned on this one thing. And as I said, this is going to happen. They're going to vote. They're going to wait until September. What they're actually doing, in my opinion, is they're dragging this thing out. So if they had a vote today, then we know the files are going to eventually get released. But because that is not taking place, folks like me are going to be able to talk about this from now until September. And there's going to be a drip.
Stop.
Like we just saw earlier this week, where Donald Trump had written that very bizarre letter to Jeffrey Epstein.
Very bizarre.
All that stuff is going to keep coming out, and we've have all these clips coming out.
Dude, people are on it right now. People are on it.
That show that Donald Trump has a proclivity for very young women, if not girls. More of that's going to come out. So when Pam Bondi is saying, or she says she wants to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, saying Ghislaine has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and DOJ will hear what she has to say. Therefore, at the discretion of Attorney General Bondi, I have communicated with counsel for...
Dude, can you say it any clearer for these fucking morons? She's going to sit down and talk to Ghislaine Maxwell. And if Miss Maxwell says to Pam Bondi, yeah, I'll say whatever you want me to say. She's going to get a commuted sentence. And if she says, no, fuck Trump, he's left me sitting in this fucking cell this long, I'm going to tell all, Pam Bondi's going to come back and go, yeah, Miss Maxwell didn't have much to say about the whole thing. So turns out, yeah, we're just not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Miss Maxwell determined whether she would be willing to speak with prosecutors from the department. I anticipate meeting with Maxwell in the coming days. I'm telling you, there is something fishy going on. There's something fishy going on.
Yeah, you think?
Now, I alleged that it was actually Ghislaine who released these letters that apparently Jeffrey Epstein was sent from Donald Trump. I think she probably has a lot of...
Bro, what if that's what she's doing? That's a good call by Keith. What if that's what she's doing from prison? Her family is like getting a hold of people, or what if they have a fucking mound of evidence on this shit and they are slowly leaking it out to force Trump to commute her sentence? Dude, that's a good call by Keith Edwards.
Damning evidence against Donald Trump. So I don't know. Is this gearing up towards a pardon? Could that be what this is about? I have no idea.
That's exactly what I think it's about.
We can only speculate because the most transparent administration in American history won't tell us a goddamn thing. They know how to release the MLK files, but they can't touch the Epstein files. None of it makes sense. There's a lot of there. The right understands it. We understand it. We're going to keep pushing for it. If you want to continue following the story, subscribe here, like this video so more people see it, and I will see you next time.
Good video. Good video by Keith. Here, let's make sure we put Keith's channel in chat, because I don't know if all of you guys know about Keith. And I don't know why I'm always not subscribed. Like, I am always subscribed to all these channels, everything. Yeah, expose everyone. I don't give a fuck who's in those files. Everybody. Every single fucking one of them. Every one of them. There you go. That's Keith Edwards' channel right there. It has to be. You don't slow play something like this unless there is something that you are trying to hide. This administration is about as transparent as a fucking brick wall, okay? There's no fucking transparency in this administration. It's all sleight of hand. It's all, look at this hand while I pick your pocket with this hand. This is fucking like, this is insane to think that this is a transparent administration. Once again, that's double speak. This is 1984 shit all over again. 1984 shit. We're being transparent by not releasing information. That's 1984. He's an anti-war president that bombs countries for peace. That's double speak. He's not a coward. He's strong through cowardice. That's fucking double speak. It's like these people read 1984 and they're like, I bet this shit would work. Dude, let me here we go. Here we go. This right here, in September, right now, this is the Epstein files right now. This is the Epstein files as they stand right now, with all the information with a certain person's name all up in that bitch. Okay? This big, all right? And when September, if they decide to go ahead and let those files out, you know how big that file is going to be? This big. It's going to be this big, and it's going to say Obama, Clinton, AOC, and it's going to be in this book. It's going to be released in that fucking version. This administration is anything but fucking transparent. So does JD become president before or after 2025? I think Trump's got a year of dealing with this type of stress before fucking those veins just explode. I give him about a year. I give him about a year of dealing with the stress. I think he makes a big mistake on the world stage. And what is it? The 25th Amendment? Is it the 15th or 25th? Which one? I think that they use whatever, I think it's 25th, to remove Trump from office due to cognitive decline. What if they were setting up Trump by using Biden by the example? That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. That's why Orwell wrote the book. Exactly, LB. Exactly. He went through 2 commercials just to find out you're subscribed to Keith. Oh, Jesus Christ. I wanted to talk about this one with you guys because I found this shit to be crazy. And so this is one I just saw today. This is one I want to talk to you guys about today, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this one. A whites-only community could be coming to Missouri. This is the shit I'm writing about in my book. It's fucking science fiction. 25th to remove, 22nd is third term. Thank you. So a whites-only community could be coming to Missouri. Springfield, Missouri. By the way, guys, okay, how fucking nuts is this? The book I'm writing, the science fiction book I'm writing, Technocracy, I'm writing, it is taking place in Springfield, Missouri. I feel like I'm in that Dick and Jane movie. Like I'm narrating my own dumb timeline right now. This is what it feels like. The book that I am writing is the Technocracy book, takes place in Springfield, Missouri. This is where this is coming from. Springfield, Missouri. The outspoken co-founder of Return to the Land, a relatively new whites-only group based in northern Arkansas, no shit, said the group could be expanding to Missouri. It's fucking insane that this exists already. Eric Orwell, co-founder of Return to the Land, told News Nation local affiliate KOLR that a group of people is considering developing an RTTL community near Springfield. According to RTTL's website, which, here, let's go to this website. You guys will love this shit. How do I do this? Open a link. Look at this website. Look at this website. I just got put on a list, first of all, guys. I just got put on a list. This is the website. Okay, about us. Return to the Land is a private membership association for individuals and families with traditional views and European ancestry. We hold events and conferences, and we help groups of our members form European heritage communities. This is a whole bunch of words to say we only want white people. By the way, when he says a private membership association, you can read all about that in the book Just Action by Leah Rothstein, when she talks about how HOAs were formed as the original way to keep black people from purchasing homes in white neighborhoods. When this person says private member association, that's just another way of saying homeowners association to keep black people out. We seek to create a decentralized movement formed of various individuals, all of them white, and societies returning to the land. We will promote strong families with common ancestry, inbreeding, and raise the next generation in an environment that reflects our traditional values. We will facilitate economic and social harmony, they're going to do that through authoritarianism, between all groups and individuals, all white people, in our movement. Above all, we will continue to engage in a never-ending pursuit of excellence, refusing to lower our standards or lose sight of our goals. So what they're saying here, guys, is they don't want to breed with inferior people, black people. That's what they're saying. Anyways, back to this. Yeah, this shit is fucking nuts, dude. We seek to create a decentralized movement formed of various individuals, the stuff we just read. The group's home-based land association is based on 160 acres in northern Arkansas and has been in development since 2023. Orwell said the draw to northern Arkansas was its affordable land, natural beauty, abundant water resources, and a conservative, predominantly white population. The ADL released a statement on X. Why are we always releasing our statements on X? We got to get, like, come on, guys. Please, can we release statements on something other than X? Anyways, earlier this month saying the Arkansas development not only revives discredited and reprehensible forms of segregation, but it should also be illegal under the Arkansas Fair Housing Act, the Fair Housing Act of 1968, as well as other federal and state civil rights laws, which are all probably going to get rolled back by Donald Trump. So, hey, they're probably going to get what they want. And to be honest with you guys, let me hear your thoughts on this. You guys tell me what you think about this. I'm like torn because I'm kind of like, it would be better if we did put all these people in one place and let them fucking inbreed themselves out of society. So that way, at least we know, like, hey, don't go there, right? Now, I'm sorry to Springfield, Missouri, and probably Arkansas as well. If these people are like, yo, we don't want these people living near us either. I'm really sorry. But currently, it's not in my backyard, and I'm kind of like, can they just stay over there? So I'm kind of the opinion we should not only let these people do this, but we should build a gigantic electrified fence with barbed wire, dogs, and gun turrets around it, not to keep people out, but to keep them in. I believe it was George Carlin. I believe it was George Carlin that used to say that we could put all these people inside of a walled community with cameras, have it sponsored by Bud Light, and let them just fucking go at it. I would pay money to watch it. Not them going at it, but I mean fighting. If you guys, I don't want to see fucking sister-brother love or husband-brother, sister-wife love either. That's not really in my history. Probably is actually in my history, being that I'm from a trailer park. But I don't know. You guys tell me. I'm kind of like, fucking let them do it, but I also get that, like, the idea of letting these people do this obviously would then lead to more segregation, because then you would have other populations that would say, well, okay, fuck it. Like, if white people are just going to live with white people, then why can't African Americans just have a whole community of their own? And now white people can't live with black people. And now Mexicans don't want white people or black people, so now they're going to live in a community by themselves. Like, that's not a world in which I want to live in. I love seeing lots of different types of people. It really brings like a variety to my life. I live in a predominantly white culture where I'm at now, and I do complain about the fact that there isn't enough culture. I love the Mexican culture. I love the African American culture. I love Asian culture. I love culture. I love being around people. Like, even to a certain point, I love country white culture, right? Like the good ones, not the racist ones. I love, old school country music, not bro country music. It's kind of terrible. And, like, it's just this idea that we're going to segregate each other off into these, like, prison sects. I mean, that's what it's like to be in prison. Is like, even if you're not a racist person, if you're a white person and you go to prison, you become part of the white population because you can't survive outside that population. You have to. Like, I don't want America to turn into a prison system. I mean, it kind of is already there. But obviously, on the serious side of things, that if you allow people to do these types of things, then it's going to cascade and you're going to have more and more division within the country. But on the funny side of it, I do think it would be funny to put a huge fence around these people and put cameras up and just watch it happen. That's just if shit's going to go bad, it's going to go bad. We urge the Arkansas Fair Housing Commission, local elected officials, and law enforcement to act swiftly to ensure the Northeast Arkansas remains a welcome and inclusive community, not a refuge for intolerance and exclusion, said Lindsay Bach-Friedman, Regional Director of the ADL. Let's see. Orwell told KOLR that RTTL is a private association that doesn't sell real estate. They're trying to get away around the HOA laws. The attorneys we've consulted believe what we're doing is legal. Americans have the right to freely associate and form international communities on whatever basis they choose. Orwell said he hopes to help found RTTL communities in all 50 states. My question is why you didn't start in Idaho. I mean, like, if you wanted to get away with something, you could do it in Idaho. We want to ensure that white Americans who value their ancestry will have the ability to live among like-minded people in the future if they choose to do so, regardless of demographic changes. We'd like for a network of communities, community centers, and recreational areas to be available to our members that affords them opportunity to celebrate their heritage with their folk. What he's saying there is he doesn't want his white wife to be scared when she gets in an elevator with a black person, because that black person might mug her in the elevator and take her purse. Because fucking Jenny from the block, wait, that's J-Lo. Sorry. Brenda from the block. She got a welfare check all up in her purse, and she doesn't want the food stamps getting stolen by the black people. That's pretty much what this motherfucker is trying to say right here. Orwell said RTTL plans to facilitate homeschool groups. Fuck me. Healthcare networks. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I think they should definitely... Dude, give yourselves universal healthcare within your own system. That would be fucking amazing. That's going to end fucking brilliantly. Legal advocacy groups and much more. Whites should have the ability to live among their own people. And if that's what they want to do, and mass immigration is quickly making that nearly impossible in many Western nations, if individuals decide to live in multiracial communities, then they should be allowed to do so. But we don't want racial forced on us in every aspect of our life. This dude is a garbage-ass human being. Garbage-ass human being. Orwell noted there is a group that is considering developing an RTTL community near Springfield. We're glad to facilitate communities in Missouri and think it's a great state. What does that say about you, Missouri? The ADL labeled the group as part of a growing trend in white separatist organizing, according to an RTTL press release. In the release, Orwell contends RTTL's criteria affect shared ancestral values, not hatred or violence. Let me tell you something. When people say that the Ku Klux Klan is gone, that white supremacy is dead, first of all, I come from a background where I grew up with skinheads, Peckerwoods, Featherwoods, white power, supreme white power, 23, all of that. But this is all I have to say to that. This right here. This right here. Read this book. Read this book by Joe Moore. This book, White Robes and Broken Badges by Joe Moore. Read this book. He infiltrated the KKK. He was there during Obama's administration. He was there during Trump's administration. And he clearly defines what the KKK wants now, and it is exactly what this man is asking for. And that is, they want to create separatist communities that are positioned in a way that if the government fails or descends into chaos, that the Ku Klux Klan can in some way inject themselves into the government to take control of at least a portion of it. That's what they want to do. And that's what a separatist community like this achieves. If they can get a foothold by creating racist cultures, then they can use that legal precedent to do more and more in this country, to separate people more and more based off of race, which is one of the weirdest fucking things to base it off of. Like, not even, let's get a bunch of like-minded people together regardless of their ethnicity or culture. Like, no, it's just white people. Ooh. I don't want to just be around just white people. There's lots of white people I don't like. There's lots of people that are black, Mexican, white, Asian, men, women, gay, straight, that I'm just not interested in living in a community with, okay? The last thing you will ever get me to say is that just because somebody's white, I'm down with that person. That's fucking insane. That's crazy. I hope these fucking communities eat themselves. Let me just say that. Yeah, Project 2025, exactly. It's crazy. This is when I read this shit, I was like, are you kidding me? It's fucking insane. Anyways. Uh-oh. How are we doing out here? Okay, we're doing okay. Oh, I accidentally... I'm pushing the wrong buttons, guys. Hold on. What we're going to watch now, I want you guys to watch some of these Mehdi debates, because this leads into that. What I was just talking about. This is these people that in this Mehdi Hassan debate talk about white genocide. They talk about segregation. They talk about the Great Replacement theory. Mehdi Hassan was not ready for these people. He thought they were conservatives. They are not conservatives. These are people that claim to be on the right because they do have some values that are conservative, but these are white Christian nationalists. 100% full fucking stop. These people are not what you would consider a conservative. Well, maybe some of you guys would have 10 or 20 years ago. These beliefs that these people express are extreme. So anyways, Mehdi Hassan went on here, and I want to watch a couple clips with you guys. So here, let's start with this one here. So this is this one guy that sits down from him. This guy looks psychotic, first of all. This guy looked like a psycho to begin with. But Mehdi Hassan sits down with this guy, and this is them talking about Donald Trump's for Gaza is ethnic cleansing. That is the question. What Mehdi Hassan says to this man is, the thing that I am stating as being a truth is Donald Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing. And this is one of the responses to that.
Right? No, I'm not. You're leveraging.
This is wild.
Nobody on quote unquote my side of the aisle is trying to deport you. The only shutting down is being done by you.
They're actually trying to genocide my entire race. So what are you talking about? Oh, what are you talking about?
And I want you to look at that. Look at how many people, when he says you're trying to genocide my race, You're trying to genocide my race.
He's
Look how
talking
many.
about.
Wow. Look at all the people clapping. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Those people right there. Every one of those people. And look, there are minorities in this crowd. There are minorities in this crowd. These people that are clapping are people that when they went up against Mehdi Hassan espoused white Christian nationalist beliefs.
What are you talking about?
You're a white genocide guy?
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You know the fact you're.
I'm amazed that Jubilee find some of you guys. How do they find you?
Do you see?
Did they email you? Do you have Gmail?
Why are you trying to oust me?
Did they email you? Do you have Gmail?
Right?
No.
Dude. He says a lot more crazy shit than that. Here's a guy. Speaking of the people that are there that are immigrants. So once again, he's saying Donald Trump's plan for Gaza is ethnic cleansing. And this is an Iranian immigrant that is now a citizen of America talking about the children that are being murdered by Israel in Gaza. And this is his take on that.
So-called innocent Palestinians. You don't think Palestinians are innocent?
Not all of them.
Because what about the 17,000 children who were killed?
They're doing the
17,000 children were killed. Were they not innocent?
Were
they not innocent?
Who's responsible for that?
Israel, who dropped the bombs on
Hamas
them.
is responsible. Hamas is responsible for hiding in hospitals and making tunnels underneath
So
those
when
hospitals.
children are shot in the head by Israeli snipers aren't responsible for that.
Look,
It's a simple question.
Here's the
That
problem.
is a
Israeli
simple
snipers
question.
shoot Palestinian children in Gaza in the head, as eyewitness testimony and doctors' testimony proves. That's not the fault of the Israeli snipers.
This is the problem, because when you have a
The problem is you won't
when
answer the question. I'll ask you a
when-
third time. When Israeli snipers shoot Palestinian children in the head, is that not the fault of Israeli snipers?
Well, you gotta let me finish.
No, you got to answer the question. Fourth time.
Well,
when Israeli
I will
snipers
get to
shoot
your answer.
Palestinian children in the
I
head,
will get to your
we're running out
answer.
of time. I need to
Well,
know what you think about innocent children.
because I will
what
get
you
to-
said was pretty outrageous. You said
I will
so-called
get to your answer.
innocent Palestinians. For the fifth time, when Palestinian children are shot in the head by Israeli snipers,
What
is that
did-
not the fault
what-
of Israeli
What did those
snipers?
children do?
What did
What did those
tell me?
children do?
Did the children deserve to be shot in the head?
Because the problem is
you
over
know
there,
millions of people are watching you say
they
to
start
justifying the
brainwashing
killing of
children. They start brainwashing children at a very young age.
So you support
Exact same-
sniping children in Gaza?
Look,
do other people here support sniping children in
Look.
Gaza? Is that a conservative position now?
What if they're wearing a suicide vest?
They weren't.
But what if they are?
They're not, though.
Well,
Dozens
what
of
if they
children.
are?
I have friends who
What-
went there.
what-
Doctors went to
what
Gaza.
if-
American doctors. They came back and said we have multiple children.
What if
with
they're
gunshot
hell bent?
shots.
What if they're hell
What if
bent
they're
on
not?
killing you and your family?
A 10-year-old child, an 8-year-old child, a 6-year-old child.
They're- Because
This is
like
bad
you said,
for you.
Like you
You're
said,
sitting on
they're
live
brainwashing
television
them.
where millions of people are going to see your neighbors, your
because
friends.
then millions
you support
of people,
the killing of
millions
children.
of people don't know what's going on.
Even your fellow right-wingers are saying, don't go this far.
Yeah. And come on. That's an easy question. That's an easy question. It's like, even if you are 10 toes down for Israel, it is an easy question. Should people be sniping children? The answer is fuck no. Like, even if you have another argument to make, to whatever other argument you want to make, the easiest fucking answer that you have ever had in your entire life is, should people be sniping children? The answer is fuck no. And then he makes that argument. And you know what? This shit really gets to me. He makes the argument. What if they're wearing vests? What if they're wearing vests? Because these 6-year-old, 8-year-old children are brainwashed. Anybody that has a kid knows what it's like to have a 6 or 8-year-old child, right? I have a guy who works with me, and he's not the most liberal person you'll ever meet in your life. Pretty conservative dude. And he was in the Air Force. And when he was in Afghanistan, he worked security. And they would stand in front of the base, and he said some of the most horrific shit would happen. And that was that legit terrorists, real terrorists, would take a child and sew him from chest to belly button with stitches and put a bomb inside of them. He said one of their jobs at the security gate was to stop and ask people to raise their shirts so that way they could see if they had that. But this was his take on that, by the way. This is a guy who legit had his life in jeopardy due to these things happening. His take on this was this. It was not that child's fault. That somewhere, legit terrorists, legit bad people, went to a village and held that child's family hostage and made him do that. Because that kid had a decision to allow his family to be murdered or to do what these real terrorists wanted him to do. And he said, the biggest mistake that Americans make, specifically conservative Americans make, is the dehumanizing and demonizing of people that live in other countries. He said that the entire time that I was in Iraq, the entire time I was in Afghanistan, I traveled around and I met people, and they were some of the best people I've ever met in my life. They're just human beings. They're just like me and you. They just want to be left alone. They just want food. They just want shelter. They just want health care. And there are bad people within their society that also take advantage of them. So they have people, once again, that are terrorists that do take advantage of these people, and then they have Americans that hate them, demonize them, and dehumanize them. This idea that it's okay to take out a child because, 2 years from now, he might be wearing a vest. You're just stopping the potential of something from happening, guys. That's fucking mind-blowing. That's mind-blowing. I remember a time when the question used to be, if you had a time machine, would you go back and take out baby Hitler? And people would have a hard time answering that question because they're like, but it's a child. What if something happened that changed his path in his life and he never became that person? What if he got to do his art? We all know that's why he was pent up. Like, how did we fucking get here, man? How did we get here? Nah, this is a new guy. Redunk. This is a new guy. Like, how did we get here where that's an acceptable answer? So here's this guy again. This dude was fucking insane. He I don't know if it's this part, but he sits down at one point after he'd already had a falling out during an earlier disagreement where he comes back and he's like, I'm going to try and bring it all down. And Mehdi goes, that's not going to happen. I just want you to know that right now. Just by your demeanor and who you are as a person, you will not be bringing down the level of this conversation. It was fucking... You should watch this whole video, guys. You should 100% watch this whole video. It is 2 hours long. It is brain rot. It fucking kills you to listen to these people say these things. But you need to know who these people are, what they believe, because if you believe that there aren't people out here that have these extremist beliefs, that they don't exist, this shit will definitely change your opinion on it.
It's about tribal warfare. Okay. That's U.S. I don't know where you're at in the U.K. You're from India, so I don't really...
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so...
I'm an American citizen.
You have your own states.
I'm an American,
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that, okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different.
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah, colonials.
You don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
You're
Whites
not.
are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
what was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting...
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen, before
indigenous people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It means
like
they came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is. So my point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are
Because you're
criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on.
Yeah, by the way, the question or the statement that Mehdi Hassan had made for this man to go off on this tangent is Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal. This is what he is debating at this point, is Donald Trump is pro-crime and pro-criminal, and this is what he went with.
Sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
By that, but I'm because
I'm
I'm
not offended. I'm
curious,
just wondering what it has to do with crime.
I'm always curious.
We're going to talk about immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now,
And he
you're doing a
does.
very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just
and
got a
pro-criminal.
round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing
Is this how
as
you
bad.
get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That
Well,
must
wait
make you
till
feel
this comes
good.
out.
The white replacement theories that are going on right now. This idea, it's so fucking insane. The white replacement. At one point or another, Mehdi Hassan asked a guy, he goes, you're so concerned about being replaced as a white person. What are the percentages of minorities in this country at this point? And the guy he was debating with, like, kind of obfuscated, didn't want to answer. He goes, it's 15%. It's 15.8%. That's the amount of minorities that are here in our country right now. That's it. 15%. How insecure do you have to be as a white person? First of all, it's weird as fuck to even, like, be concerned. I wish I wasn't this white. Not because I don't like being a white person, but because I would like a little pigment so I can go outside in the fucking sun for longer than 10 minutes without getting a goddamn sunburn. Okay? I would like to tan a little bit. I would love a little bit of the pigment that my wife has. Just a little bit. So it's already fucking weird that you care about it in the first fucking place. I hope one day the entire world is a fucking some shade of beige. Because it's the stupidest fucking talking point. But to then take it and say that white Americans are Native Americans is absolutely fucking bananas. To take a group of people, actual Native Americans, and just like disregard everything that fucking happened to Native Americans at the hands of the people that came here and say, we're Native Americans, is fucking wild. And I would say insensitive, but he does not care. And neither of those other people that are clapping. How insecure do you have to be as a white person to get to a point in your life where you are saying that as 85% of the populace, that you feel like you're being replaced and that you're a Native American along with the people that you came here and gave fucking smallpox to? That the Trail of Tears, the fucking destruction of their culture, it's fucking wild. It's wild. So this guy, for all of you guys, I know you guys already know, this guy here, in the middle here, he goes on to say, I am a fascist, and, you know, I don't think the Constitution is something anybody should care about. Let's see, here it is right here, actually. I bet this is it right here. So this one's a little bit of a longer clip, so I have to watch to make sure Jubilee doesn't take us down. So the question, or the statement being made by Mehdi Hassan in this debate, is Donald Trump is defying the Constitution. Now, this is a well-known Twitter influencer that he's debating here.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at
I
all.
didn't say that. I didn't actually say that. I said, are you a fan of the Nazis?
Well, they persecuted the church a little bit. I'm not a fan of that. But
what about the persecution of the Jews?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't support anyone's human dignity being assaulted. I'm a Catholic.
But you don't condemn Nazi persecution of the Jews?
I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad.
This is a longer clip, so I'm going to pause it for a second. Once again, I just said this about the Iranian dude. This is the easiest question that you have to answer, and when you can't answer it straight without qualifiers, that means you do not think that the persecution of the Jewish people was bad. This is an easy question. You could easily say, I am 100% against the persecution of the Jews during the Holocaust, and then move on with your answer. But he can't do that. Why can't he do it? Because he is hedging around the fact that he's an anti-Semite, and he does not want to talk about this because he knows he's on camera. So instead, he's going to hedge it and qualify the answer.
Show, because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican.
Hey, what can I say?
I think you could say I'm a fascist.
Yeah, I am.
Once again, look at the number of people clapping, look at the people smiling, look at the people laughing. So the next time one of these fucking people says, dude, you don't even know, like, why do you always call us fascists? Why do you always call us fascists? Because you're fascists. That's why. You're a fascist, you know you're a fascist, and you would admit to it if you could get away with it. And now that Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America, you can get away with it, and now you're admitting it. So fuck it. You're a fascist.
Absolutely.
I'm just checking who's clapping just to get my set of where everyone is on this. Because you know that millions of people are going to be watching you on YouTube and checking out who the fascists and the Nazis are.
I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever.
No, clearly you're not.
During the pre-war period, prior to World War II, it was only those parties that properly enacted the people's will. That's why they won. The conservatives were fat cats. They were aristocrats.
Are you in favor of killing people who aren't like you?
Quite frankly, I'm not.
You mentioned Franco earlier. Franco killed a lot of innocent people.
Oh, well, he killed communists. He killed people who raped nuns and killed priests.
There it is right there. No, I'm against killing people that don't agree with me. But, you know, commies, bro. Commies. We're talking about commies, guys. These people, they make no sense.
What about children who he killed and women who he killed?
What are you talking about? He never killed any women or children. He was Catholic,
He only killed combatants. Is that what you're claiming?
Yeah, he only killed
Franco and his forces killed or executed 150,000 people. That includes members of the Catholic clergy who were deemed either liberal or loyal to the Spanish Republic. What's the chance of all 150,000 of those people being only men? That's a rhetorical fucking question. Is no chance.
Never killed any innocent people.
The White Terror was only punishing those people who did acts of terrorism. And again, are you supporting like raping innocent women? Nuns, dude. Killing priests? I mean, priests don't brandish guns and kill people.
You just refuse to condemn the Nazi Holocaust, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to ask anyone any questions.
I quite frankly don't care what you think about me. If I'm a Nazi and being a Nazi
is mutual,
if being a Nazi means upholding human dignity, because I even believe in your dignity.
Dude, shout out to Mehdi. I said this to my wife the other day. I clearly know where my cap is now with content creation. I just want you guys to know this so no one ever expects anything more from me. I watch Adam Mockler go on CNN and debate with Kevin Leary, and I'm like, I would call these people names. I would insult them. I don't like them. I think this shit they believe is stupid, and it's causing people harm. I'm like, I'll never be able to go on a real media channel. I'll never be able to do a debate like this. Because I swear to fucking God, I'd want to hit this dude dead in his mouth for what he's saying. Like, I don't think I'll ever be able to be a content creator like the rest of these people that are able to just, like, sit there. And, you know, like I said, shout out to Mehdi because he's doing his job. He's exposing these people for what they are. But I don't think I could ever do this. I kind of always say a great example of what would happen if I went on one of these shows is when R.A. the Rugged Man went on Tim Pool's show. And if you don't know what that is, you should look that up. When R.A. the Rugged Man went on Tim Pool's show and Tim Pool started degrading African Americans, and R.A. the Rugged Man, who is a old school hip hop dude who has been welcomed into the hip hop community as a white man, and he fucking shoved that table towards Tim Pool and went after his ass, and Tim Pool fucking turtled, okay? Head in, legs in, arms in, and then went, why are you trying to hurt me? Like, I couldn't do it, man. So just a heads up to everybody. I know some of you guys hope the best for me and want me to do big things, but I don't think I could ever be in one of these situations. I come from a different place, man. I come from a different place, and I don't think that I could hold my shit together. Not like Mehdi, so big fucking props to him. Thank you for the $5, Stay Gold. Thank you so much. That's Jumbie. Jumbie! Isn't that Jumbie? What's up, Jumbie? Keep your foot on the gas, Ginger. Thank you, Jumbie. I believe that's Jumbie. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Alan Hinkle, thank you for being a member for 10 months. This is a guy that lost his job. Got 20K. I don't think that he lost. See, here's one thing I was going to say after this video, and I'll just say it now, is I don't think that he did. I don't think he had a job. I think that he's grifting. I think he went home and told his base that he lost his job because he's raised over $34,000 now. Like, I think that legit this guy knows the formula. He knows how to rage bait MAGA. And he knows that if he goes home and tells them that he lost his job to cancel culture, that he'll then get a bunch of money. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's just my opinion, though. I could be wrong about that, obviously.
I don't. In a state that I was running, I wouldn't want to hurt you or anything like that. But quite frankly,
I don't debate fascists.
Okay. So do you concede then? I mean, why?
Do I concede you're a fascist who won't condemn the Nazis?
Yeah.
Yes, I concede that.
Okay, great. So I mean, what are we doing here? Because I mean, you just seem offended.
What you're doing here,
you just seem offended, to be quite frankly. Like,
I'm offended by people who can't condemn the Nazis. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I condemn the evils that they did, but I don't really care about
Jews?
being. Yeah, sure. I don't care.
He said, "Yeah, sure."
Though about being called,
and that's what MAGA do. MAGA will go, no, dude, fucking no. Like he did condemn it. He said, "Yeah, sure." Fucking crazy. How is you, Jumpy? What's up, dude? Good shit, man. Good shit. Let me know. I'll watch it when you guys. I don't watch too much UFC anymore. I don't really have time for it. But let me know when one of you dudes is out there. I want to watch. I want to see it. I'm still on Instagram, so you can always hit me up on there. Tell me when you guys are doing stuff. I'll watch for sure.
Nazi is the whole thing.
I never called you a Nazi. You called yourself a Nazi, a fascist, and a General Franco supporter.
Well, yeah, I am a General Franco supporter. He was awesome. He was so super cool, quite frankly. Because the whole
and you
thing.
Don't
look
believe
at him nod, dude.
I don't believe in democracy.
What are you doing here at a televised debate? This is democracy. I want to debate and disagree.
Because it is the means to support an end. The reason we have free speech now is because we want to be openly talking about our opinions so we can get the state that we want. But it doesn't mean upholding free speech.
So I have a friend, and he's probably spot on a lot of this, is that, he says that a lot of this is facade and they're just rage baiting and they just know this is easy money. And I believe that. But when you see this dude's face right here, I 100% believe this guy believes everything that he is saying right here. I don't think it's an act. I don't think it's fake. I think that these people, now that Donald Trump is the president of the United States and doing the shit that he's doing, where he literally can deny that his name's all over the Epstein files and his people will not leave him. They'll still support him. That people like this dude, white Christian nationalists, can sit up there and say to you to your face, I am a fascist and I don't want you here. This is a direct correlation to Donald Trump being the president of the United States of America.
After we win. I mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason I mentioned
the quiet part loud.
The whole reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and you kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction.
Past him because of the Nazi
even liberals, when they take power,
Yeah, Carl Schmitt, by the way, is a Nazi theorist.
They want to enact policies and they want to enact protections for their people and their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemy. And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me, I'm going to get in power.
And so this is what I've been saying this whole time, right? Is that like the left needs to grow the fuck up, grow a spine, and recognize you ain't going to be, there's no more debating this shit. Just like what Mehdi just said, I'm not going to debate a fascist. I'm not going to debate whether or not fascism is good or not. Fuck you. Fuck that. This isn't good. And this whole idea of the left of, being the bigger person, reaching across the aisle, all that shit, it's lost, man. We're well past that because there's too many people that believe what this guy right here believes. And every day there are more and more of these fucking people. Nope. He's saying it right to your face. He's saying, tear up the Constitution. Make liberals do what we want them to do. And like I said, their idea of making liberals do what they want them to do is a dystopia. Whereas what liberals want, universal health care, UBI, fucking no discrimination, the chance for you to sit in front of a boss and not have to worry about being black, white, Mexican, guy, girl, gay, whatever. Like, if that's what we're going to force down the throat of these fucking people, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I'm going to frankly punish you when you try to leverage power against me. Just that simple.
I'm not sure what you're
saying. And then they clap. And then they clap.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I can't say the same, but...
I 100%. I was like, I wouldn't shake a single one of these people's hands. Nah. Like, hold out your hand to me, dude. I ain't doing it. So, good on Mehdi to do this, but I couldn't do it. I could not shake any of these people's hands. He's a better person than I am. Oh, yeah, and here it is. Here's the give, send, go for this dude because he said he got fired for his political beliefs. Let's see. I want to see if there's the one left. Okay, yeah, so this is that dude again. Here's one more from that dude, and then we'll go to something else. But, yeah, I wanted you guys to watch these because, like I said, people need to see this shit. They need to understand that this America that we live in now is no longer just, you're going to find conversation. This is like the dumb shit. I love Jason Kelce to death. He's one of my favorite Philadelphia Eagles of all time. I've always said if I could own one Eagles jersey, it'd be Jason Kelce's. But it was really fucking disappointing to see him on 4th of July say, on 4th of July, we should all be able to get together and disagree on our political beliefs. And I'm like, there's no, ability to just sit with a person that's saying this kind of shit and just be like, well, hey, at the end of the day, you believe that black Americans should be, burned at the stake and brown people should be kicked out of the country. But, hey, we all just, we have different political beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shake my hand. Fuck that. I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
How would Connor's America look? What would it look like?
Well, quite frankly, I think we would deport people who shouldn't be here.
I didn't ask about deporting. What does the government look like?
What does the government look like?
Yeah.
I would say, quite frankly, it's under a sort of benevolent leader such as
Where does he
Franco.
come from?
It could be a kind of aristocratic class. Could be someone
who picks the autocrat?
Frankly, the people. I mean, we could hold a vote on it. King's
Democracy?
Well, sure. You can have a vote to get to that stage.
And then no more votes afterwards?
Absolutely.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills because that's the whole thing.
Remember all those farmers that were like, no, he's not going to deport my immigrants. All those restaurant owners and hotel owners, he's not going to deport my immigrants. All those rich white people that had landscapers and nurses and all of this stuff, he's not going to deport my immigrants. That's this dipshit. That's this dipshit right here.
No.
Carl Schmitt, I'm not 100%.
Wow. And if that autocrat kills you and your family, you're fine with that?
Well, I'm not going to be a part of the group that he kills because that's the whole thing.
How do you know?
Carl Schmitt
autocrats tend to kill everyone,
Carl
even their own
Schmitt
supporters.
makes this point very well in his work. It's the friend-enemy distinction, right?
Carl
liberals,
Schmitt, the Nazi theoretician.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Are you a fan of the Nazis?
I frankly don't care being called a Nazi at all.
I didn't say that.
The rest of this is just what you've already seen. I can only watch so much more of this, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, go watch the whole video. I don't really like the Jubilee format, to be honest with you. I think it's Jerry Springer for debates. I think that it's more culture, trying to make money off of clicks and views, and just more of this, dramatization and shit. I don't like the Jubilee style stuff. Most of the time when I watch it, I just find myself getting more irritated. So I can't watch a lot of it. But you should watch that video just so you know, just so you can go and see it. Just go and watch the video. It is 2 hours long. It will make your head hurt by the time it's all said and done. But do please, check it out. These are the people that you're dealing with out there right now. They do exist. Acting like white Christian nationalists like that, this don't exist, is just fucking crazy ass. Like, it's insane to think that anybody denies it at this point. Anyways, wait, don't tell me that Arnold Schwarzenegger's maid just got deported. Actually, tell me that, because then Arnold Schwarzenegger's gonna go fucking crazy. Doesn't he employ immigrants? Yeah, of course he employs immigrants. That's why he came out and was like, well, maybe we don't deport the people that work in the hotels. How about that? How about we don't deport? And MAGA was like, fuck you! Deport the brown people! And he's like, okay, sorry, I was just saying some people have hotels. And in those hotels, the bad people, they hire the immigrants. Like, some people do that. What's happening, Don? What's going on? Hope you're enjoying it. I was just watching a Mexico video today about some dude that just moved down there. My wife sent it to me. Let's see. What should we watch next? Let's go to this one, because this shit was pretty wild. So let's watch something a little bit funnier that also is pretty amazing, because That Jubilee shit's got me in the wrong mood. The wrong mood. Okay. So this is Tennessee Brando talking about Hunter Biden having an interview with Andrew Callahan. And like I said, I really do want to maybe do like a special stream or something where we watch the whole Hunter Biden interview, but it's like 2 hours long and it was pretty fucking wild from what I saw. So I wanted to watch it. So I went and found one of my favorite dudes, Tennessee Brando, talking about it. And he'll have some clips and stuff from the video in this video. So it's a dude watching some dudes. Totally not gay, guys. Maybe a little. All right, let's watch it.
So do y'all remember when Hunter Biden stood up and walked out on Marjorie Taylor Greene when she started to talk? I remember when that happened, I turned to my mom and I said, you know what? Hunter Biden is the one guy that I want to hear from. That's the one guy that I really hope we get to hear talk one day, because no one has been dragged harder than Hunter Biden and the Biden family. Hunter Biden's personal life has been put on display for the world to see, and he's been dragged. His drug addiction has been mocked and made fun of by people who claims to be Christians and claims to be conservative. People you would think would reach out and help people, but no. When it comes to Hunter Biden, they had no forgiveness, no mercy, and they just dragged him relentlessly. And I said to myself, when he stood up and walked out, I thought, he's... And
there's the hypocrisy for you guys. Full effect hypocrisy. When Donald Trump was being put on trial and became a 34-count convicted felon, that is what he is, after he was found liable for sexual abuse against E. Jean Carroll, all of these people all of a sudden flip their switch. You know the one time that Trump supporters will 100% be a thin blue line type of person? You want to know when that is? When it's a cop beating a black man. When it's a cop beating a black man, it's always the black man's fault. He should have listened. He should have just done what the cop told him to do. He shouldn't have ran. But any other time, if it involves Donald Trump, they don't give two shits about the law. They're hypocrites. These are who these people are. We've said it over and over again. Every single thing that these people believed a year ago, they don't believe anymore. Because Donald Trump has told them not to believe it. They've gotten to the point now where they're like, pretty soon they're going to be like, the Epstein files isn't that big of a deal. That's what they're going to say. Quote me on that shit. At one point, and you've already got a couple of them doing it. Dinesh D'Souza's fucking grifting ass up there making videos about, well, there's other things we should be talking about. Why are we talking about? Charlie Kirk's grifting ass. Tim Pool's grifting ass. It's already happening. So, I said this at the beginning of the stream. I'll say it again. I don't have a problem at all with Hunter Biden's laptop. Go ahead. You can release all that shit. And I'm just going to be like, dope. Glad he had a good time. Hey, the man has the money. And he's over in a place where he can get some prostitutes. Go for it, big dog. Smoke your crack. Have a good time. That's where I'm at with that. Because I come from a place, I grew up on a street that had prostitution, and I grew up around people that sold crack. So, at the end of the day, it just goes with my narrative, I guess. I guess that's where we're at in this world, is fuck it. You like your felon? I like mine too.
Dying to say a whole lot more about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I would love to hear him talk. Well, now he's talking. He sat down for an interview, and a lot of times we'll say this person sat down and went scorched earth, but I don't know if scorched earth really does it justice. I will just say that he took the gloves off, and I'm so glad to see it. This interview was absolutely priceless.
That's right.
And
Gloves
I hope
off,
to see
man.
More.
It's time.
I myself would love to talk to Hunter Biden if I could talk to anybody, because he speaks a language that people like us understands. Now, this interview, I will go ahead and warn you, does have quite a few F-bombs. So many that when I first seen it, I thought maybe it was AI just for a second, because I was like, wait a minute, has somebody like twisted this around? Because it was kind of like, whoa, this guy is really cutting loose. Is this for real? It is for real. And, the language might offend a lot of people, but folks, if you had been dragged and your family and your dad had been put through what Joe Biden and Hunter Biden has been through, you're just going to have to fucking get over it. So here we go. We're going to play some of this interview.
My man. That's right. I'm telling you, the left is waking up. They're learning. It's time to stop being a pussy, okay?
P word. P word is female genitalia.
It's time to stop being pussies. All right? I said this 2 years ago when I got on here. The left's got to grow a spine. You got to stop. Why does he use such Foul language. You know how many times I've gotten that in my videos? I don't really get it anymore. I used to get all the time, I like your content, but you cuss too much. I don't believe in fucking bad words. I don't believe in curse. I don't believe that cursing is bad. It's a word just like any other fucking word. And if the left is so fucking sensitive, so weak, so fragile that they can't deal with the fact that somebody cusses, then you ain't made for this life. Because what is going on right here, right now, if you're going to stand up and you're going to be the self-analytical, self-critical left that's like, well, we can't support Joe Biden's son because Hunter Biden, he did bad things, and there was prostitutes and there was drugs, and like, motherfucker, you do drugs. I guarantee you do. Well, there's pharmaceuticals or smoking weed, or maybe you've smoked some crack rock in your life. You do drugs. You drink alcohol. It's one of the things I couldn't stand about the left when the whole more holier than thou shit. Oh, well, I don't really like that Joe Biden pardoned Hunter. Fuck that. I'm 10 toes down with it. Good job, Joe. If that was my son, I would have pardoned him too. Because we don't live in that society anymore. There's no more fucking, well, you got to hold the level so that way when the Republicans come in, they don't do bad things. No, that didn't work. Oh, we can't use loopholes because if we use loopholes, the Republicans will use the loopholes too. Fuck that. Use the loopholes. Stop being a bunch of bitches. Get your shit together. Wake the fuck up. Stand up for yourself and stand up for the people that you claim you stand up for. Stop talking about helping black people and fucking help them. Stop talking about helping poor people and fucking help them. Stop talking about getting socialized medicine for people and get people fucking socialized medicine. If you can't take that, if you can't hear that and understand that, if me cussing at you makes you go like, oh, I don't think I can watch this video, then good. Because I don't need you. And right now, the left don't fucking need you either. What you need now is real fucking people. People like Hunter Biden. People that have made mistakes. People that know how to fight. People that know how to fucking stand strong and not back down when the right tells you you should be critical of yourself and those around you. Fuck that. Be critical of them.
You and break it down as we go. But man, yeah, scorched earth don't do it justice, but take a look.
Like, I think of that poor guy that they said was a gang member because he had a tattoo on his arm that was a makeup artist. And they say he's MS-13. He literally a makeup artist that fled, I think, I'm making it up, Venezuela because of a dictator and came to the United States and sought asylum, received asylum, and they literally take this poor guy and they pick him up, and he has a family, and he has friends, and he has an entire community, and they give him no due process, and they put him on a plane with maybe a bunch of other criminals and send him to that fucking hellscape. He's dead, and nobody gives a shit. And I mean it. Like, we sit here and we talk about the one guy because there's a clear legal path to being able to get him back. What about all those other people? Am I not supposed to feel for someone? Am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. Fuck you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your fucking table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your fucking garden? Who do you think is here by the fucking sheer fucking just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the fucking criminals? White men in America are 45 more times likely to commit a fucking violent crime than an immigrant. And the media says, well, you got David Axelrod and, Rahm fucking Emanuel. So fucking smart, Rahm Emanuel. And said, we got to understand that these people are really mad. And we got to appeal to these white voters. Rahm, the only people that fucking appealed to those fucking white voters was Joe Biden, 81 years old. And he got 81 million votes, and he did not because he appeased their fucking Trumpian sense, but because he challenged it.
You know, folks, if you could be a fly...
Dude. I'll fucking vote for Hunter Biden right now. Let's trigger MAGA for real. I'll put his ass in the White House. How about that? How about that? How about you cash cash fucking Hunter Biden in the White House. How about that? Thank you for the 10 memberships. Try plugging it in. Thank you for the 10 memberships. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that got one. Congratulations on 10 memberships there. Thank you so much. Mikey Misanthrope. Hey, buddy, it's Mikey Decrepit. What's up, Mikey Decrepit? You got a new computer and you lost all your passwords. Yeah, it's another sub for me. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Would you shut up, man? The extended version. This is what I'm saying, man. The left needs to know. Like, this is that moment right now. I guarantee you, Hakeem Jeffries right now is like, oh, we can't say good things about Hunter Biden. We can't say good things. Here, take another picture of me with a baseball bat in my office. Like, bro, you ain't hard, dog. You ain't hard. Stop trying to be it. You ain't the dude. Step the fuck back. Let somebody else step up. AOC is more of a fucking hard-ass dude than fucking Hakeem Jeffries is. I don't hate Hakeem Jeffries. I think he has the right fucking values and goals. But he ain't the dude for the fucking moment. Because he's the type of dude that doesn't want to fucking support Zohran Mamdani. Well, they might call me a communist. What if I support Zohran and then the right calls me a communist? You know what you do, Hakeem Jeffries, if the right calls you a communist? You lean in on the fucking mic and you go, fuck you. Fuck you. That's what you do. That's what you do. And there's a bunch of fucking pearl-clutching lefties right now that are like, oh my God, we can't support Hunter Biden. Then the right will be able to talk about the fact that we do. They're trying to put your former fucking president in prison for trumped-up charges, pun intended, of treason, using information that was garnered by Marco fucking Rubio, Lil Marco. They're using the same information that he used to clear Obama and Donald Trump and everybody involved in that to try to put him in prison right now. And if you think that's just a joke, if you think it's just, oh, they're just kidding around, they're just playing, it's all political games, bullshit. If they could put Obama in prison, they'd put him in prison tomorrow. There's a bunch of lefties right now. They're like, well, Obama did bad things, so maybe he should go to prison. If that's who you are, if that's where your mentality is right fucking now, then, well, I don't know, there's actually some stuff, man. Maybe he could go. There's only one place right now that you can convince me that we have any middle ground at all with these people, and that is the Epstein files. And if Clinton's in that shit, Obama's in that shit, whoever the fuck is in that shit, put him on trial. There's enough evidence. Put him in prison. I won't give two shits. But I'll be fucking damned if I'm going to be one of these fucking lefties that falls into this shit where you're sitting here going, well, you know, at the end of the day, Hunter Biden did have a laptop. Yeah, and so do you, and you do drugs too. Stop trying to be holier than thou. That's why they fucking hate you.
On the wall, when me and my buddies are just sitting around having a beer, that's exactly how we sound. That's exactly how we talk, and that's the exact kind of points we're making. We're so tired of people telling us that we have to say, oh, these people are mad about this, and so we have to appeal to them. No, that's not who we are. We have to stand up for people. We have to stand up for due process. We have to stand up for the Constitution, because we have a president who is absolutely shredding all of it, and we have a president, you have to remember, who is a convicted felon. And when they use the phrase Biden crime family, I always cracked up at that. I literally always laughed out loud anytime they said that. I was like, really, Biden crime family? You're actually going to put those words together? No, if there ever was a crime family, if you ever were watching a mob movie, you're watching it with the Trump administration and his family. And I'm so glad to see that Hunter Biden laid into them. Take a look.
These motherfuckers?
With Trump Mobile, we're going to be introducing an entire package of products.
They're selling gold telephones and sneakers and $2 billion investments in golf courses and selling tickets to the White House for investment into their meme coin.
Overnight, President Trump returning to the White House after a black tie gala for the biggest buyers of the Trump crypto coin.
The Qataris give him a jet, and the Emiratis put $2 billion into their cryptocurrency, and the Saudis are going to build a tower. And I mean, by the way, that's just what we see. And I even hate mentioning my name in that, because either I am the biggest fucking moron on the face of the earth, or like what the fuck are we talking about? Like, what is Fox News talking about? Anybody that mentions my name in Crime Family in the same, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, if you believe.
By the way, this guy could have been pardoned prior to his gun conviction. Could have asked his father to help him out and pardon him before he ever had to deal with any of that shit. And because of the left's... I'm trying not to say something really mean. This is a word I want to use. Because of the left's not so great intelligence. You're like, oh, you know, he did check that box saying he wasn't a drug addict on the form, and so I guess he's got to do a couple of years in prison. Oh, yeah, you know, that's just, you know, that's the way. And I was like impressed that fucking Hunter Biden did that shit. I was impressed. I was like, yeah, fucking dude, all right, good on you. Fuck that shit. If I'm that kid's dad, I'm like, you ain't going to prison for that bullshit. You didn't check a box that said you were an addict. Fuck that. You ain't going to prison. I got the power. You fucking getting off. This dude put himself out there and fucking tried to handle his business. And the response from the right to that was to take a fucking jet from Qatar to sell meme coins, both fucking Trump's and Melania's, to use their platform to encourage the growth of cryptocurrency, which they are now involved in. They have multiple businesses in. To lie, to steal, to obscure the Epstein files. That's what he got for saying, okay, I'll do the right thing. I'll go get on trial. So when people come on here and they're like, well, you know, Biden did pardon Hunter, and we should probably be a little ashamed of that. You be ashamed of that. I'm not going to be ashamed of that. Because I'm not a pussy.
P word. P word is female genitalia.
The worst possible thing that they've ever said about me. What they are openly doing. They're openly doing. And nobody's batting an eye. Don Jr. is opening a club called the Executive Club in Georgetown, in which it is promised that you will be able to rub shoulders at the cost of a $500,000 initiation fee.
The $500,000 membership fee would make it the most expensive private membership club in the country after Mar-a-Lago.
To join the club with people and decision makers in the cabinet of his father.
Now, the launch party on Saturday night included a who's who from the Trump cabinet with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Attorney General Pam Bondi, SEC Chair Paul Atkins, Dr. Oz, and a lot of others.
And what do you think they're going to talk about? What do you think that they're going to talk about while they're at this $500,000 club that you're not allowed in? Any of you MAGA supporters out there got $500,000 to get yourselves into this club? What do you think they're going to talk about? You think they're just going to be like, oh, you know, hey, no business tonight, guys. Just here to do coke and, you know, look and see if I can find Epstein so he can hook me up with some ladies. You think that's what they're going to do? That probably is actually what they're going to do. But if you think like that cryptocurrency dinner wasn't him imparting knowledge to crypto financiers, people that own corporations that are involved in crypto, as to what he's going to do with legislation moving forward and how it's going to benefit them, if you don't think that these people that have $500,000 to get into Don Jr.'s club aren't going to rub shoulders with Trump and Bondi and the rest of them and find out ways to subvert our government and continue to create a wealth gap that pushes you further and further into the fucking gutter while they raise themselves higher and higher onto a fucking pedestal that you'll never, ever, ever get a chance to touch, well, you might be a Trump supporter.
I love the poorly educated. What is that other than literally the sale of influence? And by the way, that's just like a side thing for them. I don't get why people don't understand that it is the biggest grift that there is. And just look over here. Look at Hunter Biden, the crack addict. Look at him. Laptop.
You know, I got to be dead honest with you, folks. Anytime someone says something like, well, what about Hunter Biden's laptop? I pretty much just tune out right there. I don't really care what they say next because I know that they're just distracted with Hunter Biden's laptop and they're not looking at what's happening right in front of their faces. And it's so ridiculous to me when they'll say, well, Trump loves his country so much he could be on a yacht somewhere just enjoying life. And he does this because he
Can't
loves
avoid
his
prison
country.
on a
He
yacht.
don't even take a salary. I'm like, the dude is raking in billions. He's doing it right in front of your face. They made Jimmy Carter give up his peanut farm. But yet this guy is selling you everything under the sun, doing it right in front of your face, and then telling you, oh yeah, just look over here at Hunter Biden's laptop. They have dragged Hunter Biden for years while...
And don't forget...
Obama! They did way worse right out in the open. They did it right in front of everyone's faces, and people are okay with that. They'll sit back and go, oh, the Trump family's smart. Trump's smart because he didn't pay his taxes. It's absolutely ridiculous. Not only have they dragged Hunter Biden, they definitely dragged Joe Biden even harder. They dragged him and held every word. I've always said they held him under a microscope. Every word he said got criticized. Every word he didn't say got criticized. Every word that he hesitated to speak got criticized. Every step he made got criticized. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And I love what Hunter says and the analogy he brings here, the comparison of, imagine if my dad had done what Trump did here. Take a look.
The other day when Donald Trump pointed to the Declaration of Independence and said, you know, I'm against war. I think we could have saved 600,000 lives in the Civil War.
You look right up there. I don't know. I see the Declaration of Independence, and I say, I wonder if the Civil War. It always seemed to me maybe that could have been solved without losing 600,000 plus people.
As if there's a connection between the Declaration of Independence and the Civil War. But can you imagine my dad did that? Can you imagine if he opened up that treaty with the Prime Minister Starmer at the G7 in Canada and all the pages fell out, and then he said that he just signed a treaty with the European Union with the Prime Minister of the UK standing next to him? Can you imagine? And then if he got on a plane and said the reason that he was going home early from the G7 is because he had a major...
Wait. Did Trump think the Declaration of Independence was the independence from the black people? My dude, I wasn't I watching that video? Did I not catch that? I guess I didn't. There's just too much fucking insanity. It's too insane. It's hard to catch everything. You guys know how when you watch a movie, like a Marvel movie, and you watch it the first time and you're just enjoying it, like you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, love Spider-Man. This is so dope. And then, like, you watch it again with your wife or your kids or something, and you're like, oh, I missed that Easter egg. Oh, that's dope. I didn't even... Oh, when he said that shit, I didn't get it the first time. You know, like LB keeps saying Trump-pedo, and I barely got it today. It took me a while. That's like what it is to watch a fucking video of a Trump interview. It's like, I missed that. Oh, my God.
Major announcement. And then if he got on a plane and said the reason that he was going with the Prime Minister of the UK standing next to him, can you imagine? And then if he got on a plane and said the reason that he was going home early from the G7 is because he had a major announcement the next day, and then the next day he put up a flagpole. Can you imagine any of those things?
So you're saying...
Where the fuck is Jake Tapper?
Yeah, so where is Jake Tapper?
Where in the fuck is
why
Jake
isn't
Tapper?
he pouncing on Donald Trump, and why doesn't the mainstream media pounce on every misstep and every gaffe that Donald Trump has? I played the clip before here on the channel, but y'all remember back when Joe Rogan was thinking that Joe Biden is the one that said that about there being airports during the Revolutionary War, and Joe Rogan sitting there and he's laughing and he's like, yeah, did you see where Biden said that there were planes in the Revolutionary War? Man, if you said that, your career would be over. And then Jamie ends up pulling it up and like, actually, Joe, it was Trump that said that. And he's like, oh yeah, well, he fucked up. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yep.
They will find a way to give Trump an excuse for anything he does, and meanwhile they set and held Joe Biden under such a microscope, and it's absolutely ridiculous because, yes, Joe Biden was a man who was aging right before our eyes, and I'm really glad that Hunter says this in this next clip, talks about how are we going to be going forward, and how are we going to react to people getting old? How are we going to act to people who are aging before our eyes? This is a great point.
Kind of see him dropping out of the race. Did you see that coming?
No. I thought that we had cleared all the hurdles that they had set up for us. And so, if you remember, it was a horrible debate, and there's no arguing that it was anything but an absolutely horrible debate.
Dude, Hunter Biden's a real one for that. You want to know why Hunter Biden's a real one for that? because not one of Trump's kids could do it. Not a single fucking kid. Not Don Jr., not Ivanka, not Eric. None of these fucks could sit here and say, you know, that was bad. It sucks, but it was bad. Now, he's a real one for that. And, you know, it was bad. We watched it and we wanted it to be better. And, you know, and it wasn't. But he's a real one for that, to be able to sit there and say that.
I think it scared the shit out of a lot of people because they were already concerned about his age. But as I say about everybody, the thing that we're going to have to grapple with as a society that's bigger than Joe Biden is this: how we handle people that age in front of our eyes. And recognize that they may have lost a physical step, but that does not mean they don't have the mental capacity to continue to do their job, and whether there still should be to be valued. So my dad grew old in front of everybody's eyes. And the difference between whether or not you thought that he was politically viable based upon your own biases, or whether you thought that he was politically capable based upon his accomplishments. Just remember, Joe Biden got 81 million votes. And it wasn't because of Donald Trump that Joe Biden got 81 million votes. Joe Biden got more votes than anybody that's ever run for president in the United States before.
You know, I really do believe that everyone needs to just stop and think for a minute. Think about your mom, think about your dad, think about your grandparents, think about how they aged, and think about how that you talked about that amongst your family. And maybe it got talked about around your little small town. Maybe it got talked about in your community. Joe Biden grew old in front of the entire world, and he was growing old and leading us through.
While doing one of the hardest jobs that a person can do. He's about to say leading us through a pandemic. And it's an absolute fucking tragedy that Joe Biden took on what he took at his age as far as the economy goes, the pandemic goes, the mess that was left to him. And because of that, I'm sure it helped to drive that aging a little faster. And yet he was still able to get accomplished the Infrastructure Act, the Chips and Science Act, the COVID stuff. You know, it's like, I'm sorry, the Inflation Reduction Act. I couldn't remember it. Inflation React, the PACT Act, the bipartisan gun law information, the college debt, $200 billion in college debt that's forgiven, the lowest unemployment rate that we've ever seen on record. Driving down inflation from fucking like 16 or 18% to like it was like 2.4 when he left office, to combating the avian flu. Like, it's absolutely insane that at this point that dude's going to get no credit for any of that. And the reason I say no credit is because the right will never give him any credit for any of those things. But the left will always hold as a stain on his record his foreign entanglement with Israel over the Israel-Gaza conflict. And though I do 100% say that that conflict and our support of Israel, especially at this point, is hard to defend. It's hard to defend. But I do believe that Joe Biden, at the beginning of that conflict, was in the right to say that he was going to support an ally after what happened to be a terrorist attack against him. Now we can all argue about, you know, going back to 48 about Israel and Britain putting them there and all that shit, for sure, 100%. And I think that that's a debate that should be had within the left. But it is a goddamn tragedy that the right will never give this man any credit for saving their asses, because he saved all Americans' asses, and the left will never give him credit because of his mistakes in foreign policy. That's a fucking tragedy.
Through one of the darkest eras in American history. He did bring us out of the pandemic when they said that he couldn't. He turned this country around. He accomplished more in 4 years than most presidents had accomplished in 8. And I can't imagine what it would be like to be his son and be getting dragged constantly for my past addiction, having my personal life just put on full display, becoming the boogeyman for the party and put in this Biden crime family, myth that they created, and then watching my dad at the same time be dragged for growing old.
Yeah.
So, you know what? My bandana goes off to Hunter Biden because the guy has been through a lot in his lifetime, and I'm glad to see him out talking, and I hope he talks more. I hope we hear more from him. I saw someone on Twitter going, I wish he would shut up. I'm like, no. No, he's the one I've been wanting to hear talk for a long time. I'm glad he's talking. I hope he continues to talk because that frustration and anger that you hear a lot of times in his voice, that's how a lot of us feels these days. And I can't imagine how he would feel coming from where he came from, but we feel that frustration. We feel that frustration as we sit and watch a mobster as the president. We sit and watch him break the law, and we sit and watch him just make a mockery of our Constitution right in front of our faces. And we try to point to it every day. That's the thing. We're just average people just sitting here. I barely graduated from a poor high school in Southeast Kentucky,
Thank
okay?
you.
I'm not a
Me
genius,
too.
but I'm just sitting here going, hey, look, the country's burning down. Hey, look at what this dude's doing. And meanwhile, everybody's like, Sleepy Joe, no drama, Obama, all this ridiculous stuff. They say that because they want to create ratings. And that's all the Republican Party is, their ratings. But they're also a very dangerous ideology.
Yep.
And they're one that we're so sick and tired of seeing have control. And so I applaud Hunter Biden for that interview. I hope we see more of it.
And yeah, I hope we see it more as well. And what he just said about that Twitter comment, oh, I wish he would just shut up. That's what I hate about the left, man. That's what I hate. What I hate about the left is that, like, oh my God, can't this crackhead just go away? Oh, can't just Biden go away? Ah, it's like, you know, here, I'll say this. The other day, I think it was LB came in when AOC voted on the Iron Dome, or did not vote, because she ended up voting president. And I got some beef with the Vanguard over this shit, to be honest with you. We eat our own. We don't stop eating our own. You could be in the middle of a fucking conflict, fighting, you know, like fucking literal, like bullets versus bullets, and the left would turn to the left and go, I just wish that person wouldn't have said that. I'm sure there's lots of people that have seen my content that are like, I wish this guy would shut the fuck up. He doesn't represent the left. And you're right, I don't represent the left. I represent me. I represent my values. I represent what I believe. I've never claimed to be on either side. I've always said that my values lean left, and therefore I find myself in the company of liberals and left-wing people more often because we share the same values. But you're right. I don't represent you. If you're like, you don't represent all progressive values, maybe I don't. You're not a liberal? Okay, fine. You're not a Democrat? Okay, whatever you say, man. I don't care. That Twitter comment, I wish this guy would shut up. I'm sure there's some Twitter comments about me that say, I wish this guy would shut up. But the thing about it is, you need people like me and Hunter. You need real people, because the left is so fucking out of touch with real human beings. So out of touch with young men. So out of touch with just being a person and making mistakes. I believe AOC voted present on the Iron Dome. And I think at the time when I was asked about it, I said, I don't know anything about this. But to be honest with you, I also don't want Israeli citizens dying that have nothing to do with that conflict. And I stand on that. And I won't back down from that. I don't think innocent Palestinians should be dying. I don't think innocent Israelis should be dying. I don't think that innocent Russians should be dying. Or innocent Iranians should be dying. And I don't, whether or not I necessarily agree with her vote, I'm not going to sit up here and make a fucking drama video, you know. And like I said, I stay away from criticizing left-wing content creators harshly because I feel that is not productive. But I'm not going to sit up here and make a fucking drama video and farm clicks and views off of you guys by saying, isn't it so bad what AOC did? Get together with me, guys, and let's eat our own. Let's do it. Let's get really mad about it together, guys. Oh, I just got 100,000 views on this video. That was like $300. Ooh, that was worth it. It's fucking stupid. Stop leaving comments like, I wish this guy would shut up. Because you're part of the fucking problem.
Anybody out there that says, well, he shouldn't use language like that, walk a mile in his shoes and see how the fuck you feel about it. That's all I would say about it.
Thank you.
You know, I wouldn't expect him to sit there and be nice. If he did, I'd probably be going, well, you know, I respect the fact that he was nice, but damn, if I was him, I'd have said, fuck you. I'm glad he got to say fuck you. You know, it's good. Good for him. Good on him for saying it. And I hope we hear more from him. I'd love to sit and talk with him. That's the type of person I want to sit and talk with.
Later, Mitchell.
I don't want to sit and
Everybody's
talk
like,
with
fuck this
someone
guy, I'm
pointing
out.
a chart. I don't want to sit and talk with someone, you know, sitting there just, you know, giving everything watered down, typical politician answers. I want to talk to someone who's lived it, who's been there, and been through it, and Hunter Biden definitely has. So I'm glad he's talking, and I sure hope we hear a lot more from him. Folks, I appreciate your support so much here on the channel. We're closing in on 800,000 subscribers.
Dope.
We're headed toward 1 million, so if you get a chance, you like the kind of content we're doing, be sure and hit that subscribe button. If you ever want to take a break from the politics and do something a little different with me, I've been going over on Patreon, and I've been putting more non-political content over there just to take a break from all this madness. So later today, I'm going to be talking and doing a video on my Mount Rushmore of Ozzy Osbourne albums, because we lost the Prince of Darkness. He was one of my favorites as a kid, and always has been. So it's been a rough couple of days. It really has, because the political stuff weighs heavy on you, and then you lose a childhood hero. It really sucks. So I'm going to be talking more about that over there. And again, I appreciate all of your support here on the channel, and good on Hunter Biden, man. I'm glad he finally got to lay into them motherfuckers.
Good. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. We don't have to be in the same party. We don't have to be in the same group. I support you either way. And even with what I said, look, I support the Vanguard. I like those guys. I disagree with what they said. I disagree with the way they did it. But I like those guys. And I like Tennessee Brando. And I like Keith Edwards. And I like Kyle Kalinske and Mike Figueredo. Two people that commented on that AOC tweet. Those are their opinions. And I disagree with them. Kay says the AOC critiques pissed me off. The vote meant nothing. It was never going to pass. Yeah, and a lot of that shit, dude, is just... It's just virtue signaling. It's one of the things, like I said before. It's like... It is some of the shit that the right complained about the left that got too much. It's like... She chose to vote present, or whatever she voted. She voted no. I don't give a fuck she voted no. I support AOC. I don't think that AOC either voting no or voting present on the Iron Dome, or whatever, yes, it was for funding of the Iron Dome, right? Whatever it was. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've lost all hope in AOC now. She's not allowed in the party anymore. That's called purity testing, and it's fucking ridiculous. And it's something that the right has actually gotten to a point where they've kind of excised from the party. Now, I'm not saying that you should ever be a cult member. I'm not saying you should never disagree with AOC. I'm not saying you should never disagree with me. I'm not saying you should never disagree with the Vanguard or Kyle Kalinske or anybody else. You should always disagree in some form. But if you are standing on your pedestal and going, look at AOC, I can't believe she did that. She's just a piece of shit just like the rest of them. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You need to realize that there are much bigger things at stake than whether or not you make sure the world knows that you hate Israel as much as possible. I don't hate Israeli citizens. I don't like their government. I don't like what they're doing in Gaza. I don't hate Palestinians. I don't like Hamas. I don't like their government. I don't hate Iranian citizens. I don't like the people that live there that demean women. I don't like the people that, do indeed, feel as though women are lesser than them. But I don't hate those other people. And you don't need to virtue signal to let people know that. You can just live those values and people can just recognize that shit. But it is what it is. Yeah, sure. Guess who farted this guy? Your name is Guess Who Farted This Guy. Like, there is not a single fucking person that has ever taken you seriously, dog. Oh, dude. I love Twitch. They're like the smartest people ever. Sorry, Merton. I know you're over there. I appreciate you. Trump supporters are Trump supporters. I
love the poorly educated.
person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Fucking geniuses. Alright, let's watch this video. This is really funny because, like I said, when I first started hearing about the fucking the video being manipulated in Adobe Premiere, I was like, this is every fucking YouTuber's like wet dream. They're like, no, I know something about this. Dude, I'm about to tell you guys all about this. This is gonna be amazing. And then I stumbled onto this video. Speaking of people I don't support everything they do, this guy right here, his name's Ryan Long. He's a comedian. Some of the shit he does is fucking cringe. Some of the shit he does, I know he's trying to be like sarcastic or tongue-in-cheek, but I don't find that funny. But this shit right here was funny, and I also watched some of his other videos, and they were pretty funny too. So we're going to watch this video. It's called Epstein Jail Footage Editor Explains Why it hasn't been released yet. And by the way, this was before the video came out. So this shit was hilarious.
You know, lately there's been a lot of conspiracy theories about why the footage proving Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself is taking so long to release. I think I should maybe do like a slow zoom here. And as the editor in charge of this project, I want to say that we're this close and perfection takes time. See, now I'm kind of liking the green. I spent 18 hours a day of the last 2 weeks working on color alone. White balancing a jail wall is hard as f***. That's kind of gritty. I like that as a look. Hey, Cash, Brian here.
Okay, if you didn't work with an editor ever in your life, this might not be as funny to you as it is to me, but this shit's spot on. And I love all the Diet Coke and the fucking Celsius. Like, this is spot on.
What if we just go black and white? Whether I'm color grading, perfecting the EQ on room tone, converting files. Maybe I'm crazy, but I just kind of like it with the crossfade. You know, Apocalypse Now took more than 2 years to edit? I mean, what I really wanted to do was open the sequence up with a drone shot of the jail, but they've been sort of fighting me on that. I just want it to be perfect, you know? Basically, I do an export of where I'm at, send that off to the DOJ. They take a couple months, send their notes back to me. Better at saving now. I didn't have auto-save last week. I lost like 6 months of work. And that's standard.
Like I said, the best part about this is that it was released before they released the footage. He's talking about the autosave and shit like that, and they fucking saved that video like, what, 4 times? Spliced 2 videos together? It's amazing.
For any production, notes are a slow-moving process, especially when you have presidents involved, Congress people. There's a lot of cooks in this kitchen. That's just our government. The foreign leaders take way longer. I spent a lot of last week rotoscoping out a spider that was driving me nuts on that wall. Okay, so I'm
what did I tell you guys too? I was like, if you're Trump or if you're anybody else, you can't like give this footage to somebody that would leak it, right? You can't give it to any like high level like video editor or engineer in the government, because there's a possibility that then they see something that you don't want them to see. So you know this was Dan Bongina and Crazy Eyes Cash sitting right here doing what this dude is doing. Like late nights, smoking bowls, Crazy Eyes Cash is trying to keep one eye on the screen, Dan Bongina trying to just like pay any attention at all to what he's doing. Like I can picture it in my head, guys. It's amazing.
Currently uploading a cut to Google Drive. Right now it says 7,452 hours remaining, but I find that speeds up as it goes. I'm also doing the best with what I had. Don't forget that multiple cameras accidentally malfunctioned that night. You know, it'd actually be fire if we could do like a
accidentally
split screen of the jail guard and the cell. Actually, how do you do a split screen? Believe it or not, you can find tutorials for almost anything on Google right now. Splits.
Dude, just picture Crazy Eyes Cash Googling this.
Screen, YouTube. Then the video from the backup camera was unusable due to technical errors, which... Well, that one was actually my fault. I put one of the SD cards through the wash. That just crashed. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take lunch. Also, these are government computers that haven't been updated in years, so rendering takes forever. I hired a guy on Fiverr to do some lower third title cards, but he's been ghosting me, so that's jamming me up a bit. The image stabilizer...
Dude, imagine if they found somebody on Fiverr. Imagine if there's somebody out there right now that saw the real Epstein footage and they got him on Fiverr and they didn't even know what they were editing.
Takes about 12 hours to run, so right now I'm just waiting for that. By the way, it's actually pretty hard to sync audio when the camera was turned off for 6 hours. I mean, that's cool, right? What do you think about this for the background music? Kind of like a vibe, right? I don't know if we're gonna make the next deadline.
Dude, it would have been so much better. If they would have just added that in, that would have been so much better. Why was there no music on the Epstein footage? There's some serious questions that need to be asked about who the editor was. I would like to know who edited the footage for other reasons as well. But just because I want to know why he did such a shitty job. Like, I'm pretty sure if you gave me that footage, I could have that edited pretty well in probably like 24 hours. Most of my edits are done in 24 hours. I could do it.
Either, because I got this audio sync issue right now, and I'm leaving for a wedding tomorrow for a week and a half, which, by the way, I told them about that in advance. I did not...
Pam Bondi's text messaging, do you have the I'm at a wedding, dude. I told you I'll get it later. Cajun says, old cockeyed would be holding his crossed eye closed so he could see better. Oh, shit.
Bring that on them. I put in for that time in February. How do you get a Netflix documentary feel? Yeah, sure. I could just whip something up, but I'm sorry that I care about my craft. I can decide whether I like it better this way or this way. Yeah, you can just flip it. It's like an effect. Oh, you need Bill Nye blurred out too? All right, well, that's...
He said you need Bill Nye blurred out too. How'd they do my guy like that? Oh, you can't do Bill Nye like that, dude.
Gonna happen after the vacation.
Oh, dude. Absolutely gold.
So
that was gold. Here, let's go back.
You know, lately there's been a lot...
Like I said,
Mike Johnson has now said that there's going to be no vote.
You know, lately there's been a lot...
Mike Johnson has now...
I think of politics now.
I give up. We're not doing that anymore. I was going to put his name is Ryan Long, and he's a comedian. If you like him, go find him on fucking YouTube. Because I apparently cannot operate YouTube tonight. Maybe it was M. Night Shyamalan. Maybe it was. Maybe it is the editor of the Epstein files wasn't M. Night Shyamalan. I just actually watched that movie. What was it called? The Watchers. Have you guys seen The Watchers? I thought it was pretty good. Guys. The Watchers. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It was, it's a Shyamalan movie, but it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Let's see. I think we're probably gonna call it here. I'm getting kind of tired. I've been working all day, and now yelling for like 3 hours has been a little bit much. But yeah, there's a lot of shit going on right now, and I know it's tough to keep that same energy for the entire time. But you got to. I mean, I don't think you have a choice. Like, really, when it comes to mass psychosis, which is what a lot of people in the Trump cult are under right now, you have to remember that the way that you use that to influence people and brainwash them and get them, to a point where they'll do anything you say or respond to any trigger word you want them to respond to, is that they get you exhausted and then they give you a little break. And then when you feel that little break, it's like a domestic violence situation. It's like that's when you feel like things are good. Okay, everything's all right. But it's not, because you're always concerned. You're always living on the edge of that next dramatic thing that's happening. And that's what Trump is doing, because Trump is a domestic abuser. And that is his relationship with not just his voters, but with all of us. And it's very important to keep the energy, to keep telling yourself, like, I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm not going to give in to this bullshit. I don't give two shits if Ghislaine Maxwell comes out tomorrow and says Trump's not in there. I'm still going to be here. You ain't going to defeat me like that. Like, I don't care. All these dipshit Trump supporters that want to show up in here and be like, bro, like, you understand the fucking deep state. Like, you guys just fuel me. You make me want to do it more. You make me want to fucking go for it. You make me want to go harder. You make me want to be fucking meaner. You make me want to stay fucking aggro. And if it wasn't for these cool fucking people that show up in my chat and have a laugh with me and keep me grounded and happy, I'd be a lot fucking meaner. You should actually be thankful to all the lefties that show up that do this shit. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here and helping keep everybody sane and for doing the work, because you guys do just as much as work as I do, if not more. So, all right, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. I love you guys. I'm going to be on thisspace.tv tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific for my show on there, my 2-hour show from 5 p.m. Pacific to 7 p.m. Pacific, right after Pastor Benjamin. I will also be streaming it here on this channel for those of you guys that feel more comfortable being here and being in this chat. So that will be tomorrow. And then our next show on this channel will be Saturday at 5 p.m. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And don't forget.
Yeah, you effin' with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word. P-word. P-word is female genitalia.
Who explains sexual harassment to you and me? Sexual harassment, panda.
All right, guys. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. See you next